3.
Hello, and welcome to PDX Gaming Productions, Knights of Faded Roses. I am your host, Elizabeth Hayes, and before we get too far into this, we're going to go around a bit, and then we have some announcements. So, again, I'm Elizabeth Hayes, and we have...
My name is Andrew, and I'll be playing Sheehan McDermott.
McDammit.
McDammit.
I'm Diana, and I'll be playing Aliana.
And I am Michael. I'll be playing Alexandra Delisandra.
All right, thank you. Just a reminder, this is a vampire game, so there may very well be violence, blood, gore, guts, and veins in your teeth. So if you aren't comfortable with that, please stop now. Rob and Shannon are going to be gone for this episode, handling some preset family engagements, so we're going to be moving into the more individually expanding character stories this particular episode. Sponsorships. If you are a gaming or comic book shop, especially if you're local, we'd love to advertise your shop here. You could have your shop info showing up on the screen and at our intermission. So contact us either on Twitter or YouTube at PDX Gaming Productions. Finally, we would like to thank Willamette Falls Studios once again for hosting our game, and the fantastic Josh Reynolds for helping produce the game. If you would like more information on how Willamette Falls can help your studio productions, please drop them a line. They have state-of-the-art studio spaces, including a podcast booth, fully functioning studio kitchen, green screen studio, standard studio, editing suites, and a soon-to-be music recording studio. So all of that can be yours for, pretty reasonable prices. So go ahead and contact them. Their information will be at the end of our introduction little spiel there. So with that, I believe that's all the announcements that are going to be done for now. So let's start this session's Knights of Faded Roses. We're back. So, recap. We had some interesting things happen last time. We had a group of not so friendly non-friends suddenly decide that they're going to become a conclave to try and mitigate who's going to be in control of Portland. We had some information gathering done. There was information that was going to be gathered through several different ways. There was some computer spelunking down into the darknet by 2 different people. There was some contact done on a radio show. And there was a drop of a couple of batteries by certain thin blood that was going to hopefully combat and find out some more information about an alchemist that would be able to hopefully lead you to more information about who's doing what to whom as far as the thin blood situation is concerned. And I think that pretty well caps it for where we are.
Pretty much.
There was some information that was gathered by John, and he ended up having to leave quite suddenly. Not quite sure exactly what that was, but he ended up needing to take some time to go find some things out and splunk his way through physically some items. And we also had some issues come up with a certain spot in Aruba that needed to be investigated. Specifically needed to go and find out some information out in London as well. So we had some people go that way. So with that said, where do you guys want to start?
We are obviously several nights down the road, I'm presuming, since
Yeah, we're gonna say it's been a couple nights. The drop has been made over at the cop shop down the road at Embers, or down the road from Embers, to figure out how to get to
Jacob. I was
Jacob.
about to say, did that yield any fruit at all?
Oh, we're about to go ahead and find
Okay.
out, aren't
Do we
we?
need a rouse check since we're several nights?
I thought I would say that we do a rouse check. One single die, success is 6 or above. Failure is add 1 to
Super
your hunger.
Success.
Okay, excellent.
No.
Oh, okay. You need to add 1 to your
She's
hunger,
a
my
hungry
love.
mouse.
You're a little more hungry than you would be normally. So
I'll have to remind my brain.
add if you are how much in the way of hunger are you at right now?
Good question.
It's going to be...
It's on your back page, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
so-
No,
This is what happens when you're learning a new game.
It is what happens when you're learning a new game. So
Oh, no, it's at the
That's
bottom.
okay.
At the bottom.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's
It's
your
at the bottom?
at the bottom
You
of the
have a
front
really
one.
weird-
There's
yeah, it's right
resonance,
there.
hunger,
It's
and
cut off.
humanity at the bottom.
You cut it off.
Oh,
No, my printer cut it off.
oh, that's rude. All right, we're gonna say that your hunger is at 2. You usually will not ever go down past 1 unless you happen to kill a human while feeding on them, at which point you're at 0. But you also go ahead and take a point in your humanity stain on your humanity at that point too. So you're at 2 at this point. We'll just say that we'll just start you out of that and call it good.
Are we meeting back at the place we were before?
Yeah, I was going to
touch
ask, are we
base,
going back to Embers, or is there like, are we going to, because like in the time, like my character would have gotten a safe house up in the West Hills at this point. So if we wanted a safe place to go, I can guarantee you nobody's got that place bugged.
That's up to you guys. You, as the conclave, it is up to you to make a decision where you wish to go ahead and have your base of operations as the conclave.
Right.
So,
Well, maybe while we don't have a conclave place, we could just use my place up in the West Hills, unless somebody else has a better idea.
I'm not trusting either of you into my lab. No.
I've got a studio. We've got the club.
And part of the reason why I don't like this place is because they're a little public.
yeah, the club is a nice spot. I will say that the club has been used for a number of different gatherings, but mainly it is social gatherings. It was very, very rarely used for the private meetings, in which point that was basically your guys' first meeting.
Yeah, I don't
So-
really like using a public spot if we're going to talk about conclave stuff. I'd much rather it be somewhere any one of us knows. It doesn't really matter who it is, but as long as we know the location and we trust the location, then I'm fine going there. But like I said, I've basically, in the time since we last met, I've done everything that I can to turn the West Hills into vampire territory, basically. One of the things I was going to have happen is I needed to do a meeting with like the local pack leaders for the Gangrel in the West Hills.
Sure.
Just as like kind of not necessarily like consolidating power, but letting them know that I'm not there to like control them. I'm just there to, protect them and make the area like, our area instead of just being whatever.
And you had attempted.
Well, yeah, that was just me kind of getting the word out, honestly.
With a bang.
Yeah.
with a bang and a McDammit.
Would a Gangrel ever do it any other way? I mean, but no. So it would have been like, yeah, I would have gotten some property, would have bought some property, and probably not outfitted it or anything yet, just kind of bought it. just so that I had a central location where I could be in the West Hills if I ever needed to be there. But I also like the West Hills as like a gathering place because we can be out of the way, and communications aren't as easy up there. You like lose service the higher you get, so it's like,
There is a point that you are aware of, Alessandra, or I'm sorry, Alexandria. You are aware that Tressa's penthouse downtown is empty.
Why?
Not for long.
Has been for the last 2+ years since she's passed,
Ah, yeah.
because no one wants to take that particular. It's paid up. I mean, it's owned by whatever shell corporation she happened to be
I
representing.
will very happily make Thera's old stomping ground our
Oh yeah, I was about
our
to say,
base of operations.
It sounds like a good
because,
place for the conclave to be.
and it's poetic. So yes, let's do it.
Okay, all right.
Very
So,
Shakespearean.
just so that you are all aware, the penthouse is actually at the top of the coin tower, the pink building downtown. It is locked down most days, but there is actually a decent way to get in the underground delivery tunnels. You can actually access it several different ways, not the least of which is underneath Pioneer Square, as well as Pioneer Place. There's an access room that goes down about 4 blocks from the mall over to the back end of the coin tower, and you just take the service elevator all the way up. There is a secret, or not so secret, panel that you flip open, and it actually gives you access directly to the penthouse.
Okay.
Can we say that we would have made this decision like at the conclave?
That'd be the next place to meet.
Like
yeah.
that would be the next place to meet,
Yeah.
so we would
I
know
would agree.
about it.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, if that were the case, then I probably, put up, I don't know, whatever bad symbol. I guess I could just text you guys
There you go.
and just let you guys know that I needed to, like you two specifically, and let you know that I needed to talk to you, and that's where I was going to be.
Okay. Then when I walk in, the first thing I'm going to do is find the old prince's chair. Mm-hmm. Take a big old thing of spray paint on the back of it. Giant Malkavian clan logo.
That's beautiful. Okay.
Set it to the side and just sit down in it.
There you go. All right. Excellent.
You're like Chairman Singh from Far Cry.
You gotta model yourself after someone.
I mean, there is that.
You could do worse.
Yeah. John has contacted you, Cian, and let you know that he's had some really disturbing information. Specifically, there's a certain someone in his background that he thought he killed. Not dead. Not sure, but the information at this point, sparse as it is, says that they are not dead, like he thought they were, and that is where he's gone off to take care of that.
Okay. Well, I already, I did talk to John before going up to the penthouse. And I let him know that I'm going to try and get information from the brewer, from Victor. And that's why I contacted
Victor
you
was
guys.
Victor was the.
Oh, no,
Victor was
sorry,
the guy who was saying
Jacob.
watch it.
Jacob.
was the brewer.
Yeah.
Jacob the brewer. So that's why I contacted you guys, because I need information, and I need like weird information. So like I'm going to be pulling on my engineering background.
Okay.
What I'm specifically looking for is like power usage in generally abandoned buildings owned by shell corporations. Maybe general zoned warehouses that are in use even though nobody ever sees anybody go in or out of them, stuff like that, or like anything on Jacob at all. Like we don't have a last name, but if anybody
So are we assuming then that we're in and you're telling us this now, or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we
Fade
can
in
go.
too?
Yeah. We're all here, and you know, like, I mean, if we want to go over how everybody enters, we can. But
For real-time grid stats, I think that'd be your specialty, Eliana.
Have you tried looking to see who's got a really big generator?
that's what I'm asking you to find. Basically, I'm asking you to find energy usage in less used buildings.
If you want to tag PGE, I can go ahead and track a military satellite to see if I can see any hot blooms.
Yeah.
And mostly because I don't need like a team if I'm going in somewhere. Like my out of character, my infiltration is incredibly high. So when it comes to like going in and getting data, I'm really good at that. So I just need to find a place. And I would prefer if we could find out if it is the actual place instead of just taking a shot in the dark.
Well, for tracking down a building using municipal power, that shouldn't be,
Well, but
cross-referencing it would be at her area specialty. What I'm talking about doing would be for locating like satellites, but I can get a broad picture, but we'd have to go in and pick,
Well, that's what I'm
there's
saying.
various
Also,
hot spots. Which one do we go with?
He might not be using municipal power.
Well, exactly. That's
He
what,
might
that's
be
what I was talking
using
about.
off-grid power.
That's what I was
So,
talking about the satellite.
Why
But-
I said generator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it could be
exactly.
a generator, but it might also be. I don't know. I'm
But how big
also
of a picture-
assuming that he's not the top guy in his outfit. I assume there's somebody above him.
So
But that's just my paranoia from years and years of being an assassin and like killing vampires and whatnot, and then angering the ones that were above them. It's like the vampires are usually never, the top. Like there's usually somebody older and more powerful helping them
Pulling
do what they're
strings.
doing. And so I assume he's not the top. So I assume that there's like a company or like a rich benefactor or something that's helping him set this up so that they can keep the Thin Bloods in control.
So based on what did we learn, what was Victor able to gather from his observations and tracking?
Not Victor.
Yeah, Victor was the contact.
Victor was
was
the
a
one we had
contact.
watching the
Victor
drop.
was the contact.
Oh, okay.
Victor was able to see about 3 different cross drops. What he saw actually was someone coming in, picking up the 2. He followed those. There was then another drop
Of them?
of the 2,
Okay.
of the original 2 batteries. That then was picked up by a third person who picked those up, dropped it in another spot. It followed around this circuitous 3 or 4 spot before he actually ended up figuring the 4th time it got picked up, he got made.
Which probably burned spot 4.
And everything after that.
Yeah.
You figure that's probably one of the reasons why they do multiple drops,
Yeah.
so that they can figure out whether or not they're being tracked. If they see the same person more than once, might be a coincidence. By the time they hit the 4th one, though, that's not a coincidence.
Damn.
Is there any Assassin's Guilds around here?
There is
Or
one.
any representatives or anything?
Asamites.
Right, the local Assamites. No, there is one group right now. You are not for sure how to reach them at this point. You reached out to Trinisa to see if you can get an introduction. She is not wanting to get involved at all with that.
I guess that would be the other thing I would ask you guys to try and find out. If you could find out a contact for the local assassin outfit, because they'd be probably pretty hard to find, but I assume if anybody can find someone that's hard to find, it's you guys.
would I have known somebody already?
Hard to say. Go ahead and...
Isn't that what I hire you for, Sheehan?
Right?
I'm new to town. I still haven't figured
Damn it.
everything out.
No,
I mean, if you want, I can go kill somebody and like leave a calling card. Somebody will probably get in contact with me after that.
Go ahead and roll 5 for me.
1 blood, right?
Yeah, and 1 blood, because it does count.
Okay, so a 9, a 6,
That's a 10.
a 10,
So
a 5, and
critical
2 4s.
success.
Okay, so 3 successes. You have heard of a couple people. They're just outside your grasp right now. They seem to be playing a lot of peekaboo on the dark web.
I wonder what
So-
got them so scared.
It's not so much as they are exceedingly good at covering their tracks. Almost, they're probably at this point better than you, but not by much.
Damn.
Give it another 3 to 4 days of spelunking down the dark net, you might actually go ahead and find a name.
Okay. It'll take time. It'll take money, but it'll take time.
Just tell me how much you need.
Oh, so much. So much.
You want to hear? Like I reach in my back pocket and I take out a blank check and I hand it to you.
I can't fit that many zeros on that small thing.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Like, all right, we'll wire transfer, I guess. Just let me know.
That's fair.
It'll be several because I don't want that shit followed.
Don't worry, I have bank accounts given to me by different assassins guilds that are not tracked. So
Everything's tracked.
it just depends on who's tracking it, I guess.
Depends on where they're being tracked. Everybody has a tracking system. It just depends on whether it's an abacus.
Yep. And financial laws are a bitch.
Yep. So, while
Is
all
Tamina
of
still in
that...
town?
I'm sorry?
Is Tamina still in town?
Tamina.
Tranisa?
You mean Tranisa?
Persian Zoroastrian belong to a minority of pre-schism Azamites.
Oh, that is right.
She's a persona.
That's right.
Rose City.
Thank you. Let me find out. That sucks. Do that again. Still sucks. Stop it. There we go. All right. She is still in town.
I see. I think we.
Apparently you're paying her more money than me.
Vampire women, always after my paychecks.
I mean, that's a thing.
So I'm gonna put a call out to Tamina.
Okay.
See if I can get her to meet up with us up in the penthouse.
All right. You get a message back. She's available in about 3 to 4 days. For now, she's handling some business.
See you then.
You do get a message from Alyssa saying that she had to return to London. There was some stuff that she had an inkling on where to find information on celerity.
Nice.
She wasn't sure at this point, but she was going to see what she could do in London to find more information out.
Let the little bookworm do her job.
In the meantime, it has been 3 to 4 days since you last saw Celeste as well, the little thin blood that originally did the drop.
Like, have we just not? We just haven't had a reason to interact with her, or like she like disappeared.
She did the drop, and there was not a reason for you to follow up with her because all you needed her to do was drop that off.
We did tell her just go on her way.
Yeah, but if they got made at the 4th drop, it's possible they might have suspected
Tracked it back.
her or someone else. So I don't know. Maybe we should try to find her. I would like to try to find her.
Reach out to Trinessa. Trinessa's the one who brought her in the first place.
I don't really want to deal with Trinessa, but I guess I guess we can.
Well, technically, didn't we vote Aliana as the mouthpiece?
Really?
I'll do it. I'll do it if you want. I just, officially we made you the mouthpiece.
Make the Nosferatu our face. Yeah, why not?
Why did we have this? No, let me change this.
Because
why
you didn't
did you all have the stupid idea to make me the mouthpiece?
Because you didn't say no fast enough. I'll reach out to her.
Thank you.
So I pick up my phone and I text her real quick, asking if she's heard from Celeste, or she has an update as to Celeste's status, and if she could track her down again if needed.
And you get a message back. I haven't seen her since the drop in the meeting. She's one of my informants, but I haven't heard from her since then. She does drop off the grid quite frequently, but that said, I also haven't tried over much to figure out where she is. I tend not to want to bring too much attention to her.
That's how you know you're talking with a Ventru. They send you a novella in response to a text.
Were any humans utilized during the drop? Like, was that obvious at all?
Victor, let me take a look here.
Victor
was the ghoul.
Was the ghoul, right?
Victor was the ghoul. He was also
I'm
the-
wondering if it's all ghouls and thin bloods doing the drops, or if they have humans working for
as
them
a
as well.
ghoul, Victor probably would have been able to figure out whether they were human or not.
Right.
So let me do that.
You want to see if there were any humans that were doing drops, because if there are humans are infinitely easier to track than vampires.
There was 2 ghouls and a vampire, as far as he could tell. Nobody who was an actual human. The ghouls were directly connected. They were moving much too quickly and smoothly for it to be an actual human.
Could he tell, just on an off chance, what clan they would have been?
No.
And probably would have required a vampire's eye.
You never know. Some people like to decorate themselves.
Not if they're smart. I look over at the big Malkavian symbol on the back of the chair.
It had to be done.
Which
Did it really, though?
which one of your personalities did that one?
Excuse me?
I've known a couple of Malkavians in my life. I've met
Oh,
quite
this
a
one was
few.
all me, darling.
Okay.
This one was all me.
I don't think I've ever met a Malkavian that didn't have a fractured mind.
Of some sort or another.
Yeah. So
No, it's just reveling in the fact that Thera finally got her comeuppance.
Ding dong, the bitch is gone.
fair enough.
Yep.
I didn't know her, but everybody seems to hate her. So she sounds like the kind of person somebody would pay me to kill. So
Yeah, the best that you have heard from anybody was that she threw a decent party. But that was about it. That was the nicest.
why don't we do that?
No.
Call Elysium?
I mean, why not?
Well, for one, we don't have a prince, but we don't necessarily need one. We can do our own version of it.
Do we really? I mean, we don't really need a prince if we choose an area that's already been taken by somebody, right? We can just put on the party as, or we can put on the party as a, like the council. I mean, we need to let people know.
Do you truly want to deal with the amount of backstabbing assholes that will show up? Because
I'd
those are the
love-
only ones who will show up.
I'd love for some, but I mean, keep your enemies close and your friends. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, right?
You will find
So
yourself.
that's why you're right next to me.
You will find yourself surrounded by sycophants who want to see how they can take advantage of us.
I enjoy that.
Sycophants who want to take over.
But I mean,
Yeah,
again,
who want us to? So a bunch of folks who want to
So we'll have the
volunteer to be the
Venture
new.
show up again.
They want to be the new prince, and which is exactly why we won't vote for them.
what are what are the chances that the vampires connected to Jacob would actually show up?
None.
We don't know that.
Historically, thin bloods have not been
no.
welcomed. Hold up, thin bloods have not historically been welcomed in Elysium.
Right.
Historically, so
If my expectations are correct, then that means that there's a vampire pulling those strings.
right.
If one of them was a vampire that was on the drop list, then chances are there's vampires above the brewer or the brewer himself. I mean, Jacob might just be a pseudonym. What if one of the
Yeah,
vampires
who
that do show up is
Obviously.
the actual brewer? We wouldn't know.
Was Victor able to... I text Victor real quick. I say, hey, of the folks that you followed before you were made, how many of them appeared to be human versus thin blood versus one of us?
There was two ghouls and one vampire, is what she said.
Yeah.
Oh, she already said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I missed that
Victor
part.
Victor texts back, 2 ghouls and a vampire, as far as I can tell. Couldn't tell what the vampire was.
Do you-
It was too far away.
Could you recognize, is it one you've seen before?
Maybe.
If you remember a name, let me know, please.
I will do my best.
Because that means that if that's the case, they're not
I'm going to sell him
using-
some money.
They're not give him a coffee. You know?
Making it rain!
Brought to you by the current financial situation.
Right.
Because if that's the case, then they weren't using thin bloods for drops. Which makes me think
Well,
that
if there's a, I was going to say, if there's a vampire in the chain, then that lends more credence to the idea that it's not a...
Ask Victor if he recognized any of the ghouls.
Throwing the question out.
Okay.
it's a good, ghoul might recognize
No.
a ghoul. No.
Did not recognize the ghouls. You, as someone who's local, both of you know that as someone who's local, the local groupings of vampire kind here tend to cycle through their ghouls, as it were. They're not exactly kind to them. The best of them, honestly, for as much as it might turn your stomach, is honestly the Ventru, simply because they have a specific type of blood that they are addicted to. They need to keep their blood bank very, very, very healthy.
That's also how they choose their child.
So they're probably the ones that are the best at treating their ghouls.
I treat my guys pretty well.
Unlike the Giovanni, who, want to be so incestuous.
Or the Toreador who like to torture their toys.
Or any number of the other ones who simply don't look at them as anything other than,
Cannon fodder.
yeah. So for the most part,
Which is yet
it's
another
6
reason.
to 1, half dozen to the other. Probably not a venture that's involved as far as anyone is concerned, if only because these guys are not recognized.
And what was your character's name again?
Aliana.
Aliana. So, I look at so then you two are locals, right, ladies? So, where do vampires hang out? I knew where vampires hung out in L.A. Like, I'm talking about nightly scene, like the night scene. Vampires love nightclubs. They love,
Those are only just now starting to reopen now.
We've kind of
I
been.
mean, of all the people who are going to be on the reopening train, it would definitely be a vampire-run nightclub.
There's at least one Toreador that's throwing a big party.
And that's what I'm saying. So
It was
maybe
really fun calling the SWAT on them.
instead of us throwing a party, maybe we should go mingle.
Well, we did just have Pride.
It's true.
I mean,
true.
of all the people who would know the party places, you, Alexandra, would probably know better than anyone else. And I do need 2 beautiful ladies on my arms if we're going to be going to one of those places.
Pretty Boy's blind.
And beauty comes in all packages, baby.
You are aware that one particular Toreador loves a good party. Adores it. He is the most fabulous. Jonathan is fantastical and actually goes ahead and has, over the past 2 years, in spite of everything going on as far as the Rona, has continued to hold almost weekly parties down in the basement of Darcel's.
So he's our Boris Johnson.
Yeah, kind of.
Does he know me as current public persona, or does he know me as actual name?
He knows you as your
Deirdre?
public persona, as Deirdre.
Okay.
He has wanted to get you on his night list for a while. Leaves messages galore.
Can we assume that these parties have a lot of big names going to them?
Oh God, yes, and the bigger the better. He is one fantastic beast bitch, and as far as he's concerned, whoever he gets there is going to go ahead and give him so much more in the way of giving him resonance and giving him presence and giving him accolades, because he's managed to go ahead and bring him here. He gives him power.
Is there a party anytime soon?
I can find out, but I don't know that. I
Are
don't.
you thinking
Yeah. Yeah.
your dog needs to be on a leash?
Yeah, definitely.
Don't worry, Chloe can hang out
No.
outside.
No,
It's fine.
trust me.
As long as she's within mental contact, I'm
Dog
fine.
physically will need to be on a leash.
No, I'm
You-
saying I won't even bring her.
Okay.
Or at least I'll have her shadow outside.
Probably, at the very least, a good idea. I can call him. I mean, he's been trying to get me into his.
Rather, he was trying to get you than me.
Well, you know, I'm saying if we're trying to find out who's pulling strings, and you know, it's just one of those things that we should look into anyways. If we're going to be trying to consolidate power, then we should know who has the actual power in the city, right? See how many of them we need to get rid of and how many of them we can, you know, make work for us.
Pick up my phone, scroll through, find one of his bajillion emails.
He has like his own folder in it.
Automatically goes to
Subfolder of
it.
spam.
Yeah, it just
Oh,
straight
God,
goes
it's
to
you
it.
again.
It's like it's the Jonathan folder.
Okay.
He calls and it immediately pops up with "fucking Jonathan" again as his screen
Pick
chat.
it up. You do owe me for this, young one. Then I call him.
Hello.
Jonathan, darling, it's Deirdre.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Hello, my darling.
I'm so sorry for not reaching out to you sooner. Things have just been crazy with the show, and then the whole thing with that military train coming through.
Oh my
Did you
gosh.
catch that show? Because that was really good.
That was so brilliant. Oh my
thank
God.
you. I'm really proud of that one. I'm just wondering, we all know that, you know, when it comes to parties, darling, you are the best.
Oh, thank you.
You wouldn't by any chance have one going soon, would you?
You know, I just actually went ahead and sent something out to you.
Oh, I can go check for it, or you could just tell me since you got me.
Of course. It's going to be over in the basement of Darcel's, of course, as usual.
Right.
The madam has said that we can go ahead and have an entire orgy this whole weekend. It's fantastic.
Oh my.
We'd love to have you.
You and several others, I'm sure.
Hmm.
Can you either text me or tell me the password to get in the gate?
Of course, my darling.
Because I
will
know
go
that
ahead and do
we've got a couple of the members. I'm sure you've heard of the conclave going on right now.
I had heard some rumors, my
Yes,
dear. What
yes.
is going on with that?
Well, the various groups have the various clans picked their reps. And you know, they're up doing their thing in the high and mighty uppity ups. So, you know, I'm just gonna scope it out and see what's going on, and you know, see who's up for what as far as
yeah.
arranging things.
Well, you know, I had a little birdie told me, well, a little bat perhaps, told me that perhaps you might be involved in such a conclave.
Good
Oh,
girls
darling.
keep their secrets.
Darling, don't be coy.
Oh, I'm not being coy, dear. Trust me.
Oh, all right. Well, I will send you the password to get in if you bring the rest of your little friends.
I will bring the ones that are in town.
All right. Well, I will see you on Friday night.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it, sweetheart.
Fabulous. Thank you. Bye.
I don't like him already.
Please give me a
He's nosy.
shot of insulin.
He's nosy. I don't like him.
He wants to take a bite out of you so bad.
He wants
If
it.
he really wants to bond himself to me, although he's crazy enough, he just might.
They called your clan nuts.
Artists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
it just means you need a little sharper steak.
Maybe we should all, I mean, I guess,
Okay, I need to shower after that.
dress to the best and then go to a party.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
So it's Wednesday night at this point.
Yeah.
Friday night is the beginning of the party.
And Thursday night's my show. So, Friday night, Darcel's basement.
You get a ding on your text.
Okay, check it.
It is definitely from Jonathan. Yeah, it's going to be resonance is the password.
Okay. I have the info.
And see, he doesn't just get off on these parties. He gets off on these parties.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Okay,
Oh,
like
yes.
Capital gets
Like
off.
Capital gets off. He gets
to know.
monetary gain as well as notoriety as well as everything else.
Yes, and you can anticipate that there will be a plethora of human subjects doing all manner of things in all manner of positions, in all manner of locations,
With all manner of beasts.
all manner of beasts.
Do I really have to go to this?
Yes.
I ain't going through this alone.
I mean, you don't have to talk. Let me leave most of that up to Deirdre.
You're pretty when I'm quiet. I'll have to talk.
Well, you can also just be there but not be there at first.
I'd rather
Just show up when you need to.
I mean, plus, wouldn't you do better just like paying attention to things, anyways?
You get another ding.
I check it.
Jonathan lets you know that Nellie G and Eva are going to be there.
Eva's alive.
Well, he's dropping names, whether they're alive or not. You get the feeling he just wants you to be exceedingly impressed and love on him just all that much more.
Looking
Really?
forward to it. Haven't talked to Ava since ever. Looking forward to it. Kiss emoji, kiss emoji, kiss emoji. The little tee-hee one.
See the emoji.
Keep this up and I'm going to be painting the carpet with puke. He really just wants to be on your show.
Oh my God. Can you imagine what that would be like?
I mean, who doesn't want to be
That'd
on your
be a
show?
Me.
Oh, fair enough. Why? You have a face for radio.
You sure you don't want to buy a house in Gresham?
Might not want to be anywhere near me in a little bit.
Oh, the things I do. Okay.
Well, mainly the reason why I wanted both of you to come was because I know you could easily take control, be
Blend in.
the face person, know everybody. You're going to be more interesting than either of us will be. And so, we can kind of do our own thing, and I know you're much better at, the underground information gathering. Maybe I'll let people know who I am, so maybe I can find, some ins to the assassins around there. I feel like just going there is going to give us a lot more option to who we can meet and what kind of connections can be made. It's kind of what me and John did when we were down in LA. We ran raves, which was a good way to get people in and to meet people, make contacts.
Well, it's possible that it may also be another angle into, I don't know if she's still in town, but Estrella may be there as well. One of the locals, what are they calling themselves now? The Ministry?
Yeah.
Or are those the
Former followers of Set.
yeah, the followers of Set. Yeah. Is that what they're calling themselves now?
Yep. Sounds like they're trying to be a heavy metal band again.
It just feels like a rebranding. When I was in Egypt, they were still just, children of Set. So I don't know.
That's what they were when I was still in Romania.
Well, their latest image is going to be the ministry. Their mission is much the same. It hasn't really changed. It's just they've got a little more subtle in a rebrand and a better PR firm.
And, you guys know,
But as something as hedonistic as is one of Jonathan's parties, I guarantee you that one of them's going to be there. Hopefully
at
it's
least
Estrella,
three. At least three.
because he's got to procure some of this stuff from someone.
Yeah, you especially have known some of Jonathan's parties because you have had to and been paid to procure certain proclivity items.
At least three. Maybe more. He hasn't hit me up for this week. Yet.
Remember that Ralphus pistol I wanted?
Yeah. Give me the information. We'll talk next week about it.
Okay. So in the meantime, what do we do about tracking down Jacob?
nothing right now. Because honestly, I'm making all of my decisions going off the assumption that he's not the top, that there's somebody above him.
Right, but he's a stepping stone to it.
Correct, but I feel like going after him will alert people above, and I don't really want to do that right now.
So you're trying to go top down?
No, I think knowing who is pulling his strings will make it easier to find him.
Which is top down.
To
You
a
want to
point.
stab in the middle.
See, that's the thing about this is like, what I want to do is I don't want to do anything to Jacob. I want to get into wherever he's doing his things. I want like shipping lanes. I want customer names. I want, ingredients lists, stuff like that. That's what I'm looking for. So basically, I need to find out where they do their business without them finding out I'm trying to find out where they do their business.
You thought about looking at the U-Pull-It type places for batteries?
Yeah, I mean, I can go check those out on my own, but
And there's more than just batteries these folks are using.
one of the big issues that I have is that I don't know anybody
Yeah.
in this town.
Hold
I
your
don't-
thought for a second. What if the batteries are your power source?
Solar array, charge them during the day and use them at night?
We live at the river. It wouldn't take much to build yourself a little turbine.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't. It's possible. I'll dial up see what I can do about tracking down that sat shot.
And mostly I want to know how much power is consolidated outside of the Camarilla right now, which I assume is a lot because they haven't really had a hold on anything for a while.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then that means we're not really fighting the Camarilla here, we're fighting the locals.
If all goes well, we're not fighting anybody.
When has it ever gone well? In all of my years
Fair
of
enough.
being a child, of being a kindred, I have never once had my plans go to plan.
Try being female.
I did try that for a little while when I was in China. They don't like women there.
They don't.
Especially not when I was there. So, but yeah. So I'm more worried about where the power pool is because no matter what we do, no matter what kind of decision we make when it comes to the prince, to the conclave, to baronies, to whatever we end up deciding to do, and when that decision is made, we're gonna have pushback from
some, for sure.
there's got to be some kind of pushback because there are going to be people who are going to be upset that their consolidated power is basically being taken from them. Mm-hmm. And I have this feeling that part of that consolidated power is the local thin blood population. having control of the thin bloods and being able to say that you have them under your thumb, that's a lot of power that the Camarilla either would want or would want to get rid of, you know? And so, like, in the end, even if we don't end up working with the Camarilla, that's still going to be something we're going to have to think about.
Well, I'd rather, I'd honestly rather have the thin bloods around than deal with
Right.
Sabat shovel heads.
Right, exactly, that's what I'm saying. And so, like, in the end, I would much rather we have control of the thin bloods, you know, treat them better, do whatever we're going to end up doing, than the
On our
Camarilla
side
would.
versus against us. I'm really not comfortable with all the control term, but I see your point.
No, yeah, you know what I mean. You know, like, not necessarily control, but have the ability to move the piece on the board,
Yeah,
you know.
or at least see where it's going.
That too. Because right now we have we literally have zero information. You guys might be able to pull contacts to like find out information about who is actually moving those pieces. But I also have to assume that they have eyes on that. And so if you guys start pulling those strings and try to find out that information, then you guys might be made. Or they might find out that somebody's trying to figure out information about them. And that could be worse than just going up and telling them, hey, we want your shit. And so, as someone who has been very good at getting in and out of places undetected and pulling out hits on these kinds of people, one of the worst things you can do is let them in on the fact that you're doing it. So we kind of need to know who has power where and how that will affect us later and in what we're doing. And I think one of the best ways to do that would be to just meet them face to face.
Well, we're going to the party Friday regardless.
Right.
So I'll find a way to turn this to our advantage in a couple areas. And I've already got one or two things because there are a few rarefied sections that I tend to not walk just because I don't like dealing with most of the people that are there, that I think we could possibly make Jonathan a good guide through. Admittedly, we'd have to take half of what he says with an entire table shaker full of salt, but we could probably filter through it.
Well, luckily I like margaritas.
I miss margaritas.
So I think that's, I mean, I'm not the kind of person to, like, and this may be a huge contradiction. I don't like working in the shadows. Like, if I have the ability to just, I know, right? As an assassin and an infiltrator, yeah, right? If I have the option to not do it, I'd much rather. Because I'd much rather just cut to the chase and get it done real quick. But Vampire Society doesn't allow that.
No, they love their games.
Yeah. So I've learned to play the game, but I don't like playing the game. And so if we have an opportunity to just come straight out and just directly challenge people, I'd much rather do that.
Not playing politics and not knowing how to play politics are two different animals.
Exactly. As, you know, raised a noble, I know how to play the game. But raised a noble, I don't like doing it. So if I don't have to, I don't have to. If we have to, then yeah, I'll do it. But this seems like a good middle ground where we can go and get introduced to a bunch of people, or at least learn about a bunch of people, get some names. When you know names, it's much easier to dig up any kind of information, even if they're aliases, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think this is a good opportunity, not just for me who doesn't know anybody, but for you guys as well, for more information avenues. But, I mean, also, I don't know your guys' take on it. I suggested it, and you guys seemed physically hurt by the information.
I don't know that you could say we're physically hurt, more like, oh, Jonathan is a special goose.
We're calling him a goose now?
It's better than what I really want to call him.
Your
A
phone
donkey?
dings.
My phone dings?
Nope. Your phone dings.
Let's see what he wants this week.
Is it Jonathan?
It is Jonathan.
You guys speaking to Devil and he calls me up.
Hey, better you than me.
He probably wants some stuff because he knows that he's got a special guest coming.
He does, actually. Yeah, there's a number of requests, not the least of which is the standard accoutrement of
Toys.
toys.
Okay. He could just learn to go to a porn store.
Yeah,
Tiny
no,
little
because
porn.
unfortunately, along with that and the usual parade of drugs, he also would like to have a donkey and several wolves.
He really thinks you're an ass fucker. But he may have you pegged. Or
damn.
want to peg you.
I'd like to know where he got his information from. Well, that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. That might be his downfall. I'm good with wolves.
He wants a donkey and some wolves.
I don't know how he expects to get those in city limits.
Oh, the donkey's easy.
Donkeys, the asses are so easy.
I don't know. I reached down and I pet Chloe. I'm like, I don't know. I have a wolf in city limits. Nobody asked me any questions.
You definitely don't want to take her in the door.
Apparently not.
He's also asked for 350 yards of hemp rope.
Oh no.
Really thinks you're an ass fucker.
I would like to order 3 vials, pre-prepared, of corrosive vitae, please.
Okay,
That I can secret upon myself because
Back at my place in the West Hills, I have quite a stockpile of weapons that I brought with me from LA. If you would like a couple, we can go over and do some shopping.
Your phone dings.
my phone dings.
I take out,
You didn't tell him
I
who
take
you
out my
were
phone.
working
I'm like,
with.
why am I not?
I pick up the ting. What's he want?
Oh, he's promising you a particularly good time. He's got some special things ordered, and he's also got a full fighting ring that he'll be going ahead and getting set up as well for some entertainment.
Does he really fucking know who I am?
Can't wait, darling. Just be aware I am allergic to hemp.
Oh no.
I'm waiting.
Your phone dings. Sizel, change it to Sizel.
That pumps with Sizel?
Make it work.
Okay, so this exchange has told me 2 things about Jonathan. 1, he kind of knows who he's dealing with.
Yeah.
2, he doesn't truly know who he's dealing with because he texted both of you at different times, which means he doesn't necessarily know.
That we are talking.
Right. So
We've kept that way for a while for a reason.
So he has an inkling. It sounds like he knows me, but how would he know that I would be one of your guests?
Have you gone up and told your little gangrel that you're running the shit?
Oh, maybe I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Damn,
have.
word travels fast.
And I heard.
like this.
Okay, damn it.
I heard that you actually rearranged a couple people's dental work.
And they're
I
now
mean, it's
known as
kinda easy.
McDammit.
Yeah, okay, maybe we'll just lean into that because if people don't actually know my last name, that might help out. Jonathan's a Toreador?
Jonathan is a fabulous Toreador.
Yeah, that's
he's
fine.
not just a Toreador. He's a fabulous Toreador.
He's a Toreador.
Toreador!
There you go.
The best kind ever.
So obviously he's getting his information from somewhere. And I don't know if it's just he's heard about what I did over in the West Hills or like the
I'm
property
sure
I
that's
bought
part
or
of it.
whatever.
I'm also sure that between the humans talking and the fact that there has been news that the conclave or the initial discussions happened, and it's not too far of a stretch to know for people to guess that the heads of the various clans or the heads of the various clans, because none of us are formally Primogen, were sent there. And So it's only a natural guess, for lack of a better term, that myself and Aliana would be there because we're
Apparently not.
the biggest standings. Good point. Okay, well, I'm the most
Although-
public of my clan,
To
so
be
I
fair,
mean, honestly-
he doesn't know me as me, so we're good.
there you go.
Honestly, you're probably the most public of anybody in the conclave,
Yeah.
which is why I'm very confused why we made her the face.
You guys picked it.
Yeah, I don't know why we did that.
I just went
It's
along
not
with it.
too late to change it.
I agree. We should make you the face. I mean, you're the most public anyways, and you're used to being in the spotlight, right?
Could be fun.
I mean, you're good at it.
Do I really want to do that?
We'll let you have the conversation with yourself for a minute.
Wow.
With all of yourselves. Hey, I talk to animals. Come on.
And you are proof that I've never met a gangrel who doesn't have a big mouth.
It's almost like it's the clan bane.
I make big mouth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We Gangrel are actually really good at cashing checks that we don't know if we can cash right away.
Writing checks. you
Yeah,
mean.
writing checks if we don't know if we can cash right away.
Big mouth
I mean,
McDermott.
it's
Got
sort of
it.
a little bit of both. You writing checks that you don't know if you can cash, and you cashing checks that you're not sure you actually wrote in the first place. That's a little bit, yeah, right on the money.
Okay. We'll adapt.
I'm pretty sure John would be fine with that as well.
I could be like totally bitching now, you know.
Your phone dings.
What?
It's not
Finally.
Jonathan.
Oh, God damn it. Thank God. Who is it?
It's John.
Oh, okay.
Different John.
Different John.
Different
You're
John.
John.
Right.
You're not. Wait. Not that way.
Are we sure?
Kind of is that way, but continue.
Yeah, moving along. He is letting you know that he touched down in LA. He's
back in
doing
LA.
some recon. Probably won't hear from him in the next couple of days.
All right. I'm going solo. Let's do this. That means I might accidentally kill people.
Apparently I have to go to keep you two in line.
I'm a Gangrel. You didn't think of that in the first place?
All right.
You
So
can
for
clean up your own blood spills.
for the sake of moving along,
Gotta move forward to Friday.
yeah, let's move forward to Friday. Let us
All right.
simply go ahead and say that we have gone through, done particular preparations necessary. You have reached out contracts and found a donkey and several wolves and managed to get them into the city and into the underground.
Anyone harming
Delivery
a single one
without-
of those wolves will die.
Yeah.
He can't afford what happens if any of them die or hurt.
You've never had him do anything
Permanent?
permanent to the animals. He's always managed to go ahead and get them back to you in good enough check back in, good enough overall physicality to be acceptable as a return. Just a little more quiet and subdued.
They've seen some shit.
I have seen some shit.
They're glad they don't speak English.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're pretty sure that they never want to go ahead and be touched ever again. Most of them. Some of them like it, but I mean, that's a thing. In any case, yeah, so you managed to go ahead and find a way to traffic those in, get them into the underground delivery system underneath Portland and into the basement of Darcel's, along with 350 yards worth of sisal, and making sure that there was several large people there to help set up a fighting ring.
I'm going to reach out through the community, especially any close community members that I know that are going to be at this party, because I'm sure several of them will be, and offer them a little extra incentive if they would help to watch my back while I'm there.
Okay.
Sort of a non-publicly described bodyguards,
Alrighty.
especially if Fluffy's going to be there.
Fluffy is going to be there, actually.
I love Fluffy.
Well,
Fluffy's my buddy.
I was also planning on giving you my services pro bono for this since you're
I thank you for that.
since you're bringing me in on this. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
means
But
I
it's
might
nice to
like
have some
Chloe.
stealth ones there as well.
Fluffy said yes. He will be happy to go ahead and be there for you.
That is my boy. Okay, well, she's going to be, in her, I guess we're going forward to Friday night. She's in her haven getting dressed.
yeah, I
Are
was
we
about to say.
meeting up somewhere
I was
particular?
going to ask. I was like, are we going to meet
I can arrange a
somewhere?
driver.
Ooh. I can be the driver.
But the driver
How
won't go
ostentatious?
in.
How ostentatious do you want to be?
Ooh. I want to go hard.
Screaming, pink, sparkle, Hummer, limo.
Limo. How did I know you were going to say Hummer limo?
You expect
I
me to get
totally
into that
knew.
thing?
Nobody will see you.
You expect me to come out of that thing?
Nobody will see you unless you
Are
want
you
them
sure?
to. Okay, and maybe sense the unseen, but they'll just
Are
know
you
there's
sure about
something
that,
there.
though, honey?
Her hiding powers might be really good.
Okay,
Whole face shift thing.
okay, there you go. In the meantime, she's going to dress full borderline 80s rock video babe. Full corset, several daggers stashed in various points, a couple stakes in her boots,
So you really
ash stilettos
Nice.
with silver tips.
So, channeling your misfit vibe.
Carly saying hi.
That's fair. That's very fair. All right.
do? So you really want Jonathan to try and take a fight out of you?
Or be afraid to.
Oh no, honey. You're his gig.
So, just as a quick thing, I haven't actually said what my character looks like.
Yes.
But basically, he's like, I don't know, he's like, imagine like a weird cross between like Professor Snape and Lestat from Queen of the Damned. It's like 6'5", long dark hair. His eyes are gold.
Mr. Potter.
High cheekbones, gaunt features, almost kind of elvish in his look. And he, for the party, is wearing like a long coat, but underneath it's like it's instead of a blazer, he's wearing a longer, like not like a trench coat, but like just a longer coat. Not like with tails or anything, not that fancy. But then underneath he's got like a gray vest on top of like a white shirt with like a red tie, black slacks, like
Okay.
just going like
Persian
hunting.
businessman.
looking good.
Persian,
hunting.
Persian
Yeah.
businessman.
Oh, that works too.
And he decided during the time thinking, it was like, he does want Chloe on hand. So she will be on a leash. It's a very fancy leash.
A nice fancy vest that says "Do not pet."
Right. Chloe is also dressed to the nines. Yeah, and so we're just
You have to bring your
waiting.
girlfriend.
More importantly, is she spayed? Because
No,
they are not.
no, she is not.
Please tell me she's not mid-estrus.
No, not right now.
Oh, good,
Trust me, I'd smell that. She's fine.
good.
Because again,
Yeah.
his request was not.
And she's also really good at letting me know when it's that time of the
Yeah, keep that to yourself.
details.
Just saying. Like as you guys drive up, I'm like arguing with Chloe. She has a gimp mask in her mouth. I'm like, no, you're not allowed to bring that. I only bought it for you for alone times. It's not in public. And she's like, obviously, like she like drops the mask and she's like a husky would talk to somebody. Like, I'm like, no, go put it away. And you see her like grab the mask and like trot back into my fucking place in the West Hills.
New member of the pup community?
Entirely possible.
I'm like just rubbing my head. I'm just like, ah. Like, you see, it's one of those things. It's like Dr. Dolittle. When you start being able to talk to animals, you really wish they would stop talking to you.
Well, you know, if you never taught them to speak in the first place.
You teach them. I just figured out how to listen.
No.
Fucking feral whispers power. It's fucking, they just talk now.
She comes back out. She's carrying a bone.
Yeah, that all let inside.
All right, fine.
Better than a big dragon toy. Or a bad dragon
It's a
toy.
bad dragon. It's a bad dragon. It's the wolf version.
Oh my god.
God.
It's just
Wow.
Anyway,
Moving along.
finishing up her look. The hair's all done. Like, it's not. She doesn't have the giant hair from the '80s rocker chick look.
I was gonna
but
ask.
She's got, the hair is looking good.
You know, full whopper.
Topping it all off are 2 earrings. Are you gonna let me do it?
Yes, I am going to let you do it.
If you look at them up close, they're fangs. 1 canine here, 1 canine here. Each is its own little earring. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm like, and this is the ride? All right. I wanted to make a statement. I guess this works.
I don't think you've ever. I don't know. She hasn't shown you the earrings.
A little ostentatious there, huh?
It ought to keep him in his place.
It's Jonathan. He'll just turn them on.
Then.
Go back and grab me some pliers. I might need these tonight.
All right. Go back inside, grab a
It's gonna
pliers.
be a radical party.
I also have under the coat. I have weapons on me
Okay.
for sure.
There's one or
Alright.
2 firearms stashed away here and there.
Okay.
I've got
Nothing huge. That's like a 9mm. I haven't ordered my Rufus yet.
Are you picking up Fluffy on the way?
I would assume Fluffy would already be there. 'Cause,
Fluffy, okay. Yeah.
if I need to pick him up, I'll pick him up. But
No, it's just clarification for my edification.
I was
So
about to say I'd like it if we were the only ones in the car.
We're gonna be the
but-
ones in the car.
totally fair.
He's ordered my stealth backup.
That's fair. All right. So making your way, making my way.
Making my way downtown.
Right. Heading down to the old town in Portland. You notice more homeless than you had seen in the last 6 to 8 months. Not horribly surprising. You both are very aware of, unfortunately, this is sort of just the thing. Portland,
Currently.
yeah. Portland, unfortunately, has raised rents. It's raised everything except for the actual income. So a lot of these are families. They have children, and they're just trying to basically make ends meet as best as possible.
There's no way in hell we're gonna make peace here if we don't do something about that at some point.
That's why I'm saying this is why this is important.
Oh, I agree. It's one of the reasons the former prince is no longer the prince.
Okay. So you end up coming down there, arrive.
Yeah, as we're on the way, I'm like going through my weapons and double checking, making sure they all work. I also have hidden weapons, like I have weighted gloves on
Nice.
and knife boots,
Okay.
and an Uzi and 2 dual pistols named Pride and Prejudice
Where are you keeping the
I was gonna
Uzi?
say, where are you stashing the Uzi, dude?
in the coat.
That's your story. Okay. Moving along. I don't think that coat is that big, but okay.
All right, I can put it on Chloe.
I mean, sure. Anyway,
It's attached to Chloe's clothing under her belly.
okay. Moving along.
You're dressing the dog.
I mean, the dog gets
The do
wet
not
too.
pet.
It's
Yeah,
fair.
she's wearing a dress.
You pull up on the to the outskirts of Darcel's. It's just as you remember it. Brick facade, gorgeous arched windows on either side. You're not going in the main door though. There's a small but definitive line on that's going around to the back end of the building. And that's where you're going. And there's Fluffy is waiting outside for you.
Is it quiet?
Well, quiet's a relative term. You can hear a very muffled bass beat. Yeah, boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats coming from
Is it like
below.
basic city sounds, or is it like quieter than that?
It is a combination of the basic city sounds behind you from the streets, as well as you can tell there is definitely a party happening down in the basement of this big building. And what you're actually hearing is that bass sound from the music, from the
wub.
DJ.
Much wub.
Yeah, there is much wub happening. Wub wub. There's all the wub up in this air. You're welcome. Jokes. It's
Let
just
the
me.
door. But wait, as we pull up, just since Fluffy's there, I'll have told him what we were arriving in.
Okay.
Like you would need to tell him.
Kinda, but not.
Let you exit first.
Okay.
He actually opens up the door for you. Welcome.
Like as we get out, I'm like immediately like scanning for exits on the building and entry points and things like that. Just, normal bodyguard / assassin stuff.
Sure.
Stuff that I would immediately like categorize in my head.
He immediately looks to you. It's okay. I will go over all the exits that are here after we're inside.
I don't say
And-
anything. I
He
just
likes you after all. Before she gets out, she just one last check, make sure everything's good, and just. That's fine.
And he
Takes a hand.
hands you out of the vehicle, looking lovely as usual.
Thank you, my dear.
You are very welcome. Closes the door and leads you around all of this line of about
I
75.
I open the door.
Goes back, opens up the door. So sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so sorry.
That's good, right? You're forgettable. That's kind of what you're going for, right?
Oh, yeah. I know he's not used to seeing me in trip pants.
Still looking like a Hot Topic dream.
It's okay, Fluffy. Gives him a kiss on the cheek. Hops out.
Leads you around this entire length of about 75 people who are still waiting in line to get in. It's like, I already got you. Come on.
Damn, we looking like a one hell of a group.
You are definitively VIPs. There is a number of people in there, mostly ghouls, but there are a couple of vampires in there who are giving you the stink eye.
If any of them recognize me.
It's not even that they recognize you. It's the fact that you are passing up this entire.
We're doing the whole Joss Whedon slow walk.
Yeah, no, and you are getting into the building without actually waiting
the
in
line.
line or anything like that. You are bypassing the whole thing. Jonathan has set up everything.
Reaches into the girl's pocket. Randomly passes little pockets of white powder.
Nice.
Keeps on going.
A little less stink eye. A little less.
Safety measure.
There
And
you
then
go.
as I'm walking behind her, I'm like like laughing at people and mocking them as we're going.
Oh my God.
More
You're
stink
gonna
eye.
get yourself
That's
killed.
gonna come
I'd
back.
like to see people try. I haven't had enough excitement in this town yet. I would like a few hits on my head.
That could be arranged.
Not on purpose.
Not in these pants, dear.
Who said anything about tonight?
Okay.
Who said anything about pants?
Oh, I don't know. We might not get out of tonight without having to fight somebody.
I think there was a song about that at one time. Anyway.
Ballroom Blitz.
You walk up to the main door, it opens up, and they're in full glory.
Waiting for me at the door.
Darling!
Jonathan, sweetheart. Oh.
Fantastic! It's so good to see you.
Hug him up close, do the kiss kiss. Make sure the fangs go right by his nose as I do it.
Oh, yeah.
I like just look at you. I'm just like, okay.
He
you
is
guys
a
went wild.
vision of
Flamboyance.
purple velvet.
Velvet.
He's pimped.
Oh, yeah, no, but it gets worse because he is some purple velvet zebra print jacket and a lime green.
Honey, if you had told me we were doing 70s blaxploitation, I'd have dressed differently.
Oh, honey, this is the latest. Are you kidding?
It looks divine on you,
Latest
darling.
50 years ago.
Thank you.
And this is. I hope this is enough.
It
I
is
mean,
stunning.
I love just the look.
That's just. Let's go in, shall we?
Yes,
Yeah, I didn't miss that. My character did not miss that at all. All right, you rattled him. Good job.
He turns around and flamboyantly swishes away. This way! Coming! Move away! Just move out. Fluffy! Please. Fluffy's like, oh my God. Sure, no problem. Everybody, he pulls a card from the Princess Bride. Everybody move! And they all suddenly stop and they actually part ways. And you are given a complete and utter free walk all the way into the center of the basement, which I'm not sure that you were actually aiming for, but there you are.
As we're doing, I'm looking around, looking for people who I know from the past, from who I knew were movers previously, so that I could just like sort of subtly point to them. Having talked with him ahead of time, going, you'll see me do this and this, pointing out key individuals.
Yeah, you can be super subtle because Chloe will recognize your movements and she'll let me know. Because she's on guard too, way more than I am, honestly. Like I'm paying attention to like humanoid things, and she's paying attention to like smells and stuff. So we're like covering the whole gamut.
You definitely see some followers of Set, now the Ministry. You don't necessarily recognize any of them personally,
Okay.
but you
No, that they're probably.
you know that they are from the group. There are some obvious signs of who's who. And if there's one thing that Jonathan is very good at doing, it's collecting the who's who.
Yes.
Because it's just all about Jonathan.
Of course.
So he leads you in. You see a number of different people in various positions already. It's only 9:30, and
Oh, we're here. early.
wow, that's a lot. And a lot again. And there's a donkey in the middle of a fighting ring.
Is there anybody in there to fight it, or are we looking for
I'm not
somebody to-
sure. You're not sure exactly what's happening in that particular ring, other than there's a donkey standing there looking very forlorn, kind of lost and confused.
Oh bother!
Whispers in your ear. Watch out for the rope.
Confirms that one of her little stashes of corrosive is right there.
Yeah. So he leads you into the whole thing, turns around. So, my darlings, I have such bad news.
Oh, what?
They're not coming.
Who?
Nobody from LA that I went ahead and said that they were going to come. They're just not coming. Nellie's not coming. Eva's not coming. It's very, very distressing.
And I had my heart so hard set on seeing them.
It's terrible, I'm telling you.
Well, as you may have heard, there's things are a little conflicted down in LA right now.
I mean, to be fair. But still, I mean, it is one of my parties.
I don't know what Nellie could have been thinking to have not made an exception for this.
I know, right? Especially since it's the biggest one that I've held so far. I mean, please. Anyway.
Well, your reputation is definitely well deserved so far.
Well,
I look
thank
forward to
you.
seeing the main event.
Oh, that's going to be probably in about 3 hours. But in the meantime, please feel free to go ahead and partake in anything that I happen to have procured. We have a lovely set of things. Let's see here. We have at least 3 different types of blood types over there. We have a number of illicit and interesting drugs over there. Several wolves over there. And a delight of...
I am so sorry. I apologize. I'd like to introduce you to my friend.
Oh, yes, I've
This
heard.
is my gangrel friend, Sheehan McDermott.
That is me, Shane McDermott.
Fantastic to meet you, darling. Oh, my goodness, you are just so... Yes, indeed.
I am here thanks to our friend Deirdre. And I am new to town, so I am here to mingle.
Well, you have definitely chosen the right spot to go ahead and do so.
So
We
I've
have
heard.
everything that anybody could possibly want, and if I don't have it here, I can get it to you. I have friends.
Jonathan, speaking
Yes.
of your friends, darling,
Well, he's not
Who's-
paying attention, putting the phone on silent.
now that the unfortunate events of Thera's departure, who's acting for the Toreador these days? I know you said you never claimed to the throne, so
Oh, goodness, I'd never be so presumptuous. Are you kidding?
it is a thankless job.
Oh, please.
Who's in charge now? Or let me phrase that. Who's acting as primary voice for the Toreador these days?
Oh, these days? Oh, good God. I mean, really. They're all just so tiresome. I don't know. I haven't been around in, I don't even know how long. I've just been staying down here, darling. It's just so much easier to avoid it.
I don't blame you at all. Politics are such a pain in the ass.
They really are. It's just so dramatic.
It's very true.
As you know, I avoid drama every single time I possibly can. I just try to do my thing in taking care of you.
And I thank you so much. I'm glad I was finally able to make it.
I'm so beyond myself. Oh, my God.
So not even a name?
Well, I mean, there could be 3. I don't know. I don't pay attention to politics. Are you kidding? Have you seen what I do here, my darling boy?
Well, I am just finding out.
Well,
so-
I mean, this is just a small, very small token of the types of quality production that I put together.
I'm going to start keeping an eye out for, again, other area kindred that I know, but also who's set up as taps. Specifically, if they've grabbed, because I know that there are some folks who like to drink from Thin Bloods.
Yes.
I'm looking around to see if there are any I can either guess as or recognize, or maybe Celeste.
So far, you haven't seen. Actually, go ahead and roll. Roll 3 of your dice for me, please.
Any particular field?
Um.
Can I do that too, since I'm making a point of paying attention to who's here?
Yeah. Each of you go ahead and roll for your wits, please.
Wits and insight, or just,
Wits
wits and awareness?
Wits and awareness, please.
2 in a red or just 3 black?
one? It's whatever your total number is, and then of that total number, like say you've got 4, and your hunger's at 2. 2 of those 4 would have to be the blood die.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure my hunger's only at 1 at this point.
Yeah.
Three successes.
Okay.
Wow. I'm going to burn a willpower.
Okay.
Much better. 3 successes.
Okay. So you each see that there are a small group of 4 or 5 Thin Bloods in a corner. They don't look very happy to be there. It is obvious that they have been coerced to be there and or threatened. They do have a handler. You do not recognize them,
Okay.
but they do have a handler. It looks to be a male, probably. Well, the age is roundabouts 35 or so.
Vampire?
Yes.
so visually 35, actually, who knows?
Correct. Okay.
Oh, Jonathan, darling, you've invited the Thin Bloods as well.
Well,
So open-minded of you.
Oh, my.
You,
course.
I mean, I've heard of your generosity in the past, but
Well,
never
darling,
before.
honestly, I just want to go ahead and make sure that everybody has what they need and what they like here. So, there are certain
Oh, are they
proclivities.
here as refreshment?
Well, of
as
course
opposed,
they are.
Ah. I apologize for my misunderstanding.
I mean, I don't have anything personally against them, but this is And let's just say we don't include any type of politics here, either one way or the other. And since right now they're not exactly the most fantastic human in the entire world, well, most fantastic creatures in the entire world as far as the general kindred are concerned, I can't exactly go ahead and have them coming here as guests. That would sort of undermine everything else that I'm trying to do here.
So they're here as food.
They are here as food.
Indeed. I think I'll go take a look.
I didn't know
for
they
a
were
moment,
that.
darling. Oh, well, got it. At least take a look.
Please be my guest.
Thank you. I'm going to walk over to where the thin bloods are and
I'm sticking with Alexandra.
gauge their condition.
They are,
Probably not good. They've been brought here as food.
yeah, they look well fed.
Mm-hmm.
They look, they are not drugged.
Yet.
They are mostly have been coerced and are exceedingly fearful. You can smell them.
Smell the fear.
Yeah. It is
Their
very
handler.
aware.
Is the handler staying by them at all times, or?
For the most part, yes. There are a few times where he darts off a little bit, no more than about 15 feet.
Can we tell what clan?
He is another Toreador.
I say very lightly under my breath, but aimed directly at you guys. Feel free to kill the handler anytime you want. Subtly. I'm going to walk over to the thin bloods at one of these times when he darts away. And I'm going to go, I'm sorry that you guys are here against your will.
Yeah, my character is like kind of like keeping watch
I have
on the
a question,
handler.
if you'll indulge me, please.
What do you want?
Do any of you know Celeste?
One of them completely loses composure and starts sobbing.
I walk over and just start talking to them. Like, what happened?
She went to do a run, and she didn't come back. So I went out to look for her, and I think I might have found her, but I can't really tell. At least I found some of her.
Which, I'm sorry to ask to be so graphic, but was she like mauled, drained, staked, dismembered?
She was completely dismembered. It looked like somebody had decided to butcher her. Like meat.
Could have been a warning.
Who are you?
I like look over at him. I'm like, don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Look, dude, you guys approached me, all right? I can't say too much because seriously,
My name is Deirdre. And,
wait, Deirdre Dark?
yes.
Oh my God!
I fucking know, right?
Holy, I listened. Wow, I just heard you yesterday.
Like
That was
the fanboy
amazing.
comes out a little
you
bit.
very
I'm like,
much.
okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
And this is why I can't take her anywhere.
It was a fun show. It was unexpected. I mean,
And what about that shadow guy? He had some really good ideas, right?
I don't know, Shadow. We'll have to talk about. We'll have to see what he calls in next time. But I think, yeah, no, it's. Although I think the one call about Elvis being a member of the Illuminati was a bit much, but
I mean, yeah, no, well, yeah, no.
it was a narc after all. But
There was a time that I didn't believe there were vampires, and here I am.
a very valid point.
Let's
So,
draw this to a close. The handler's probably not
Well,
going to be gone for very long.
Do be safe, and
Yeah.
thank you, and trust me,
look,
she will be avenged.
if it means anything, she was found by Sophie's Island in the river.
That does help. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Be safe as you can.
And he
I'm
goes,
going to slide
surreptitiously slide a business card into their pocket.
Okay.
I suppose I should do a stealth check for that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking to hide it from them, that's one thing. If you're looking to hide it from
Would that be
the-
subterfuge and manipulation, or subterfuge and
Well, who are you trying to
intelligence?
hide it from?
yeah,
I
who
don't
are you?
want the handler to see me doing it.
Well, the handler's not here at the moment. I'm keeping an eye out for the handler.
That would be subterfuge and manipulation.
True, he might be watching. There might be people watching this interaction that we don't know about.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I asked about subterfuge.
You don't know.
Nice. 5 successes.
Okay. No problem. Yeah, you
And I
tuck
put
that
a note-
baby.
I put a note on it, or I basically say, give me a call tomorrow, early evening, let's talk.
Okay.
Keep to yourself, please.
Okay.
As you start walking away, I walk up to her, pull out the other pocket, the extra pile of the blood that I procured for her.
The toxic.
The corrosive
vitae.
vitae?
Go in to look like I'm gonna give her a bite. Say, it's okay. Slip it in between her chest. That's for your handler. And walk away.
She's smart. She's very, very smart. She very surreptitiously nods and backs back into the group. And as far as anybody's concerned, either in her group or with the handler who is starting to scoot back again, nothing happened other than you guys looking at the goods, inspecting what might be
On the menu.
on the menu for the evening.
As we're walking away, I look over at Deirdre and Eliana, and I'm like, so we know that the Toreadors are involved with the Thin Bloods,
Yeah.
as the handler is a Toreador.
I would assume you probably heard, because you were right by me, but would they have heard what was told to me about Celeste?
Probably not. If you were in the
I was
midst
paying
of...
attention to other things.
Yeah.
Okay. I presume you were paying attention. I just look over to you and I'm like, yeah, looks like we've got a little bit of hunting to do.
I could use a new collection of fangs.
We could start a trend.
I want a necklace, honey.
Oh, that would be nice.
Women
I'm
and
really proud of these,
accessorizing.
though. Have you figured out whose they are yet?
So pretty.
Thank you. I'm really proud. Okay, sorry.
You are accosted by several scents at that point, not the least of which is definitive overtones of blood and some other scent that you finally figure out is rot.
I try and look around and suss out roughly where it's from.
Don't look at me. It ain't me.
Chloe might know.
You figure out it's coming from behind you in a closed-off area. It's behind a door.
Are there any rats nearby? Are there rats in here?
I don't know. Take a
Jonathan
look.
wouldn't let any rats at his party.
What would I?
Old Town,
no,
though.
It's true.
It's Old Town and it's an old building.
You can't help but have rats.
I'm basically just gonna like try and attune my senses and see if I can locate any in the building.
Yeah.
What would I roll for that?
Just a routine, so single die.
Can I borrow your rule book for a second?
Yeah, no problem.
I failed. I failed.
Okay. Can't really tell. It's very difficult. There's a lot of different scents.
Memo to self: carry a rat on me.
There's a lot of different smells that are coming from pretty much everywhere around you. Everyone's wearing a type of perfume. There's other wolves. There's the frickin' donkey. There's a lot going on.
Fair enough.
So, having a single, trying to suss out a single smell is a little more challenging this evening, especially since you've been fairly isolated, just with you and John and Chloe. So suddenly being inundated with smells of about 200 people.
And
in
all
a very
Chloe is
close.
probably smelling is the other wolf and the donkey.
Yeah, because interesting.
Right.
So it's a lot to suss out. So, and I think at this point we're going to go ahead and take about a 10, 15 minute break, smoke break, snack break, and we will be back. thank you so much for joining us again after that brief little intermission. To remind you, this is Knights of Faded Roses, episode 2, and we are going to dive right back into storytelling where we left off, where we were in the midst of a rather questionably debauched party, I believe, hosted by an exceedingly flamboyant Jonathan of the Toreador clan, who just absolutely loves you. So,
Oh, he's going to love me even more in a minute.
He knows way too much about me.
and as we had already gone through, there was some interesting information and sad news about Celeste, as well as a very successful handoff of a card, as well as a little bit of a treat, as it were. So, at this point, you guys have started walking away from both the handler and the Thin Bloods. What's going to happen?
I'm going to look around. I'm going to start looking, see if I can pick out who Jonathan's coordinators are.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, one of them is the handler for the Thin Bloods, but I want to see who his other coordinators are and identify how many of them he's got here.
Okay.
Because I know he's a bit of a control freak, so he may not have many, but or he's going to micromanage the ones he has. So I'm just going to start looking around. I'm carrying on banal conversations.
Sure.
You know, listening, letting Jonathan go spatter, 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 spatter.
Oh, yeah.
And also working my way towards that rotting meat smell.
Okay. All right. And what are you guys following him, going elsewhere?
I mean, I'm sticking with Deirdre, obviously. As I said, I would pro bono bodyguard here. But I'm also kind of like trying to keep an eye open for like back office.
Okay.
Because if I can get in and get some information possibly from Jonathan's contacts, that might be useful.
All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm actually going to pop back towards the shadows and keep an eye on the handler.
Okay. All right.
So I'm with.
Are you
With
right up
Deirdre.
on me, or are you behind? Just
I'm
behind me?
behind you a couple of steps for
Okay.
sure, but like not far enough that I can't like get there if I need
Right.
to.
I'm going to stop walking and allow you to catch up.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to lean back and go, just so you know, Celeste is gone.
He doesn't like show really any emotion or anything. Doesn't really say anything. He just like nods once as he continues to scan.
Shit's going to go south in about 5 minutes.
He kind
Enjoy.
of smirks a little bit and like nods again, not saying anything. Just keeps scanning.
And I pull out my phone and just do a quick text to you saying,
Thank you, Silent.
gonna go, tell TB, prep to run. Party's gonna get really fun in about 5 to 10 minutes with big evil smiley faces all across the screen. Send and close.
Okay. All right.
And is Jonathan still fawning over me, or is he?
Jonathan has actually disappeared for a moment. You actually see him fussing over 3 people who seem to be sort of the center of another corner. You recognize one of them to be Thera? No.
Trinissa?
No, not, well, you see Trinissa
Oh,
there
you're
too.
talking
but,
about not Estrella.
not Estrella,
The other one.
the other one.
Tamina.
Tamina, yeah. So Trinissa and Tamina are both sitting over there.
Trinissa and Tamina?
Yes.
Ooh, there's a sheriff in attendance. All right.
Okay, I'll while I'm also leaning back and look over, gesture briefly over and go, the one next to Tamina is an Azamite. They're next to Trinissa's an Azamite.
What was her name?
Tamina, Tehmina.
She doesn't look like, initial glance at this particular vampire doesn't look like much. There is an aura, however, at second glance. Trinisa is keeping a very respectful space. They're sharing the same spot. She's about 3 to 4 inches further away than she needs to be.
I'm going to work my way over to them and walk up to Tamina and go, Tamina, darling, it has been too long. How are you?
Oh my.
Yes. Perhaps you remember me, Deirdre.
Wonderful. Hello. I didn't think you got out of your radio station.
Every now and then I get to go out and enjoy life.
Well, it's certainly interesting.
Indeed. I trust you're enjoying Jonathan's party. I've heard these things are amazing. It's the first time I've actually gotten to go to one.
Jonathan definitely understands certain proclivities.
And from what I hear, he's put some special arrangements in tonight's. It should be memorable.
Oh, indeed. There's something about wrestling a donkey.
Wrestling a donkey? I saw the donkey earlier.
I'm not sure exactly whether that's the correct translation, but something about holding a donkey down.
Oh my. Well, I do hope it's interesting. I would like to arrange a meeting with you at some point in the not too distant future for business.
Ah, yes, I had received that email. Let me get back to you. I am, unfortunately, I've been so excessively busy of late trying to keep things in some semblance of order.
And that's part of what I wanted to discuss with you. So that would be fantastic.
Excellent. Then I will chat you up probably Monday then.
I look forward to it. Turn over to Trinisa and go, Sheriff, I trust you are well this evening.
All things considered, yes, indeed.
Any luck tracking down Celeste?
No, which I am more than a little bit troubled over. Unfortunately, she has not responded to any of my texts. It's not like her. It's been over a week.
If you hear anything, please let me know. And just to bring you up to speed, we are still working on the problem. And I will give you more updates as I have them, as we agreed.
Fine. That sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Do enjoy the party. I hear it's something special.
There always is with Jonathan.
I'm going to walk over, just continue to make the full rounds, trying to clock every one of them.
Okay.
How many does he have, roughly?
He has roughly 6 of them. There's 5 of them are Toreador.
Okay.
One of them is, strangely, is another Assamite.
This could get really interesting, really fast.
The Assamite seems to be very, very interested in keeping everybody away from that door.
I'm gonna go back over to Tamina. I'm gonna like.
Oh, I'm going to introduce them.
Oh,
Go over
okay.
there.
As he.
And I will introduce him properly to Tamina.
Ah, all right.
Wait, you're gonna like. How are you gonna?
Trinisa
introduce
knows
me?
your real name.
Tranisa knows your real name.
So
Right.
I'm
yeah.
not going to introduce you as McDammit.
No. But Tamina might also know me as on a different name.
I'm introducing you as the name that publicly people know you as. I'm not going. I haven't fully told you. I mean, I've hinted to you that I know who you are, but I haven't actually proven it yet.
Right. Yeah. So as she introduces me, I like look at Tamina and go, you might know me by a different, more quiet name.
Oh, do tell.
Like he kind of
My
does
dear
this
puppy.
thing where he looks around and he goes, "Have you ever heard of the Shadow Hunter?"
Oh. Yeah, there's been opinions made. Yes.
He's like, of course there are. There always are.
Hopefully positive.
But I'm new to town, and I was kind of hoping for, maybe a place where I might be able to find work of that sort.
There is a possibility.
Or at least utilize the information networks.
That's fair. Let me see what I can find out. I will be in touch with Deirdre on Monday, and I'll let you know then.
All right. I walk back over to Deirdre, and I'm like, all right, I didn't want to drop that name, but it might, you're right, it might get interesting.
Thank you for confirming what I thought. So, once she's clocked, who all they all are, it's, how are we going to do this? How are they? I'm obviously the Azumite's doing his own thing.
The other 5 are spaced out relatively evenly,
Okay.
keeping an eye mostly on the different aspects of parties. So one of the things about Jonathan's parties is that they're sort of mini parties within the larger space of things. So you have the group over here that's getting high. You have the group over here that's getting their freak on. You get the group over here that's feeding. You get the group over here that's doing fuck all with 350 yards of sisal.
That group I'm avoiding, by the way. I'm keeping my distance from them.
Nope.
No, Jonathan there. Other times, maybe.
And then the other one is actually keeping time with and keeping an eye on those in that group with Tranisa. Basically, sort of doing I want to say more like a gopher.
Okay.
Whatever they need.
Concierge.
Yes, thank
Got
you.
it.
So whatever they need, he's there to go ahead and fetch and carry for them. Probably you figure because Jonathan doesn't want them to be anyplace else, because they might spoil everybody else's fun. But he still wants them there because you never know.
Oh, yeah. And it's all about appearances, after
Oh,
all.
God, yes.
Okay, so how are we going to do this?
And Jonathan himself is flitting around like some sort of a weird, crazed butterfly.
I look at Deirdre and I go, do you want a distraction?
Oh, no, you're about to get one.
Oh, okay.
Next time Jonathan flits close by, I'm like, Jonathan, darling, do you have a moment?
For you, of course, my dear Deirdre. What on earth can I get for you?
I speak low. I'm like, I kind of want to keep this on the low, but one of your handlers over there is getting a little heavy-handed.
Oh? Which one?
And I point over to the bondage pool.
Oh.
And I'm like, I know that, they're just, a lot of them are just kind, so it doesn't really matter. But we do need to be a little careful.
Oh, that's totally fair. Let me go ahead and take care of that for you.
As I'm talking to him, rouse check, I succeed.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dementation.
Okay.
On Jonathan.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
4 successes. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's...
And I throw it out just as I'm saying, your boy's being over heavy-handed.
Oh, my. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's...
While Jonathan flits off to deal with that, and while that all starts to sink in, I'm like, I'll leave you to handle it, dear. I'm going to start meandering over towards the next handler.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me read through this real quick. Let's see. Oh my goodness. That is amazing. All right.
So glad they brought it back.
Yeah, me too.
I remember
Okay.
in a video game, it was just you would just start laughing during dialogue options, and people would just laugh with you, and they'd
Yeah.
be like, "Why am I laughing?"
Yeah, or they lose their
Alright.
shit.
What compulsion?
Playing on to his micromanagement and his incessant need for things to be perfect.
Okay. All right.
And basically, I'm trying to get him to lose his shit.
Oh, he's gonna lose his shit. He is definitely going to lose his fucking shit. All right. So we are going to do that. Oh yeah, no.
He doesn't contest it, is what you're telling me.
He does not contest this at all.
And I pull out my phone and I send
can't-
a text
he
to
can't.
Aliana, and I let Aliana know. I'm like, keep your eye on
Showtime.
keep your eye on the back door, on that door that the handler's guarding.
And I also, I separately, I'd text Showtime to both of them.
He turns, looks over, notices a single drop of blood. There is a semi-feral shriek from his lips, you're pretty sure. And he is off like a bullet, straight at the handler, who has yet to actually do anything, and seemingly unaware of anything of this bullet train that is suddenly coming down toward him, like some sort of a strange purple velvet kamikaze. And you watch as Jonathan suddenly goes absolutely apeshit on him. You have never seen the man lose his shit so completely in his life, or in anybody's life, really. He starts screaming and tearing at this poor handler who is like, what is happening? Why?
I'm going to meander my way towards the Azomite.
Okay.
And while Deidre is doing that, I'm going to walk over towards where the wolves are.
Okay.
Because I assume they're like in cages or whatever.
They are in a, they've kept them in sort of a larger pen area, just enough to give them, each one of them, their own space. But they are in a single cage,
Okay.
which just shows
You
exactly
go ahead
how
and do your
idiotic
thing
they are.
first.
I'm going to walk up to the Azomite. And. Okay, I gain a hunger point.
Okay.
But I still get to do my roll. Four, five, six, seven, 8 successes,
Okay.
of which now for bestial crits, do both of the blood dice have to be critical, or just one of them and any other dice?
One of them and any other dice.
Okay, bestial crit.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right.
So, and I'm like, I think Jonathan needs your help, man. You, dude. I don't know what. I've never seen Jonathan lose a shit like this.
Okay.
So my total was what? 8 successes?
Yeah.
No, it was one. Yeah, 8
It
successes.
was 8 successes. He can't even remotely begin to
To contest it.
contest it. With that many, especially on a bestial crit, yeah, no. His biggest paranoia, honestly, he owes Jonathan a lot. You had no idea that he apparently owed him that much, and that's why he's in his service. There are some shit that went down. He is now exceedingly paranoid. Because if Jonathan dies, or if something really seriously befalls Jonathan, he's in deep shit. He loses his absolute mind.
And runs
And
over
goes
there.
running over to go ahead and help him. Because obviously you're a friend of Jonathan's. Of course he would help you, because he would be helping Jonathan. So he's going to go ahead and head on over there as quickly as his little assmite legs can.
I'm going to move a little closer to that smell of rotting meat.
Okay.
And since, well, I'm looking around, hopefully nobody's looking. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to crack the door a little bit just to see if I can see what's inside.
It's locked. Do you have lockpicking skills?
That's what I'm checking. I do not, but you might.
I don't need locks. I'll just tear the door off of the hinges.
I'm gonna
Usually
text
what I
to you.
do.
I'm gonna text to you. Door with smell locked. As my guard.
I don't know. Would I be
distracted.
able to use infiltration for that? I mean, it's a
You
stealth.
could make the argument.
I mean, you could make the argument. What's your level of infiltration?
I have a specialization in infiltration, so it would be 5 pips.
All right, that's
And then
yeah,
you st-
that's
like
a
a-
decent.
Like a
on top.
true specialization.
Yeah, then that is a decent. I mean, you can pretty well go ahead and snag a couple bobby pins off of somebody's head along the way without them noticing, and then going ahead and breaking open the lock type of situation. I'm pretty sure you would probably be able to do that.
Okay. Do I need to do a rouse check or anything to use Feral Whispers?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
It is a use of an ability. So
I failed.
Okay.
So it's a point of hunger, right?
yes, it is.
All right. So I want to talk to the wolves and see how they're feeling
Okay.
in the cage.
Okay.
Or the pen.
Yeah, the pen.
In the pen. They are not happy.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like the smell that's coming from that door. They don't like what's happening around them because they're 3 males in a single large kennel. That is uncomfortable as fuck because none of them are related to one another. So they don't even have a familial bond, even a remote one. This is not acceptable in the least, and if somebody doesn't let them out, there's going to be some issues.
So I'm gonna I'm trying to do this quietly so that nobody notices I'm doing this. I don't know
Quietly?
what kind of roles I have to
Quiet-ish.
do, but I'm like literally talking to dogs in their own language. So like I'm like growling and making
Yeah.
weird noises
Well, that's
as I'm
fair.
talking to them.
All right.
But I'm gonna say if I let you out, then I would require, your services in the future.
They're like, sure. I mean, yeah, we're not quite understanding what that exactly entails. But we really just want out.
I mean, I asked them if they live in the general area, like if they generally hunt in this area.
No.
Like, no, so they were taken.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have not seen these types of wolves
I mean, I can't use them for
on the
the
West
future,
Coast.
but I can use them now. I go, all right, I'll let you out, but under one condition. That when I let you out, you wait a little bit. So I'm gonna unlock this.
Define a little bit.
Like, watch that door over there. And I point to the door with the smell.
Okay.
When you see it open, then you can leave.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so I
I mean,
guess,
keep in mind that as intelligent as wolves are,
That's
the
why
concept of time is not
Right.
something.
that's why I tried to
Yeah.
give them a specific
Yeah.
Event.
clue.
Specific event is
Yeah.
fantastic. telling, hang tight for a little
no,
bit.
I'm not going to say, hey, wait for 5 minutes and then do it. No,
Sure.
I'm going to be like, when you see that door open,
Bolt.
then do it.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm going to unlock
Okay.
the pen
Sure.
and open it just enough so that it's not noticeable that it's opened,
Okay.
but enough for them to, I mean, they're big wolves, right?
Yeah, shove it open.
So I imagine they'll be able to do it. And then
Sure.
I make my way over to the door. And I wanted to be doing this while Deirdre was doing the dementation on the Assamite so
That
that
makes sense.
our timelines kind of synced up.
Okay.
And then I'll go over there and then I guess I'll roll for unlocking the door.
Yes, please.
How many is that? So I have,
Since you went hungry, you're now going to need, of the dice, 2 of them are going to need to be blood
so what?
dice.
So it's 5 pips, so it's 5 dice?
Well,
It's
it's whatever your specialization, but you also get, does he throw in dex or what?
he throws in dex.
Oh, that's 4 more.
Okay.
Two
now,
of those
have to be
have to
blood.
be your
So-
hunger dice.
Right. So 2, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Any of them on red?
2 successes on red.
And
Excellent.
are any of them critical on red?
No,
Okay.
Okay.
just regular.
So yeah, you are able to go ahead and unlock that without a
Okay.
problem.
And then I'm gonna post Chloe outside the door
Okay.
with a specific command to get out if necessary.
Okay.
I'm going to look at,
I mean, unless you just want to go in.
not yet.
If you just want to go in by yourself, I'll just stay outside.
I kind of want to crack it and see what's in there.
Yeah, just be careful opening it all the way. I tell you, I'm like, Deirdre, don't open the door all the way. Just look, and if it's bad, go ahead and open it all the way.
Crack it, just open it up just enough to look inside.
Go ahead and roll your composure.
Hopefully yours is higher than mine.
Composure you would use, yeah, okay. 1 success.
You feel, the first time in a long time, you feel the bile coming up the back of your throat. You want to vomit. There are pieces of bodies in there. You're not quite sure exactly how long they've been there. The stench is indescribable. If you were human, you
Would be
know
retching.
you wouldn't even be retching at this point. You would be full on vomiting on your hands and knees. The only reason why you're not is because you're a vamp.
I imagine Chloe like
Chloe's like leaning away. Nope. That is not a smell that any doggo wants.
I'm going to text to Aliana. Main event now. Behind door abattoir.
Okay.
And I'm going to make my way towards the handler for the Thin Bloods.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming the Azamite and Jonathan are still losing their shit.
Oh my God.
I'm staying by the door because I want to basically kick the door open if we need that distraction to get
And
out.
I'll look at you and I'll just go,
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, be quick.
The invitation is for one full scene, so
The wolves know the
Yep.
door's open.
So-
Be
Yeah.
quick.
So I'm going to walk up to the handler for the Thin Bloods.
okay.
And I'm keeping my eye on Deirdre the whole time. Like I'm not focusing on anything else. I'm just watching her.
Okay.
And yes, okay, I do not get hungry. And I'm basically gonna say, what the hell's going on here? Jonathan's losing his shit. This other the guard. What? Dude, you gotta go help them.
What? Where? What?
Gonna use a willpower.
Okay.
Cocked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
He's gonna try to contest it. Oh. 6 successes. One of
Push
them.
usually goes to attacker.
It depends if he critical on one.
Yeah.
He critical to one, but not his hunger.
Oh, okay.
So it's an equal.
So then a push goes to caster usually.
Yep. So he's going to take one look over there, see him, and sort of pause. He's trying to go and fight this, and he can't.
I'm like, dude, they're not going anywhere. Just
He heads on over. He's sitting there. He's like, I have no idea what the fuck just happened, but dear Jesus.
I look towards you and smile.
We'll walk back out. Look at the one that I whispered to.
He gets eyes just get huge. He tugs on one of them. It's like, come on, let's go, let's go. Drags them out the door.
Where's Fluffy?
Fluffy has been... Poor Fluffy. Fluffy got dragged into the ring with...
The donkey?
Yeah. He is not looking happy. He is not quite sure exactly why he's in the ring with the donkey. And he's trying to talk his way back out of the ring.
Who's stopping him? One of the other coordinators?
Yeah.
Gonna walk up to him. I'm having fun with this.
I was about to say, you don't have to do this. I have a distraction planned and ready, and it'll definitely keep all the handlers
it
busy.
will, but I gotta take care of my people.
Fair enough.
You got to do a thing.
Success.
Excellent. Okay.
Sheen is
So-
getting antsy as you're like taking your time. He's like,
And I'm like, I walk up to him and go, your boss is losing his shit, man. The guards, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Do you have any idea what's going on over there? You gotta go help him.
It's like, no, dude, I am doing here where I'm supposed to be. You don't understand. Jonathan would never let me leave elsewhere. I mean, seriously.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
4 successes? Yeah, he's going to argue with it too
is this where your luck
because
runs out?
If it does, it does.
he's
I
like,
didn't go up in hunger. That's the important one.
yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. He's like, no, you don't understand. I am not allowed to go ahead and leave my post. You don't understand the
Then
level
call
of
someone who
bullshit.
can.
He gets on his mic. Dude, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, no. I don't know. Because he's losing his shit.
I look over at Fluffy and I'm like,
Fluffy's like, thank you. Guy's like, look, just. No. I don't care.
text to Sheehan. Go.
And like immediately, as soon as I get the message, I kick the door open.
No, oh my God. The wolves are like, and we're off. 3 very gigantic
Hopefully they survive.
Russian timber wolves.
I mean, they're hungry and they want out. So
Yeah, no, as far as they're concerned, they're not even really all that. Most of what they smell in here is not feedable. As far as they're concerned, they're just death walking.
And I assume that there was a handler over there or something in that area.
There had
Not
been.
anymore.
Not anymore.
Fair enough.
The handler had been called off by the guy that was next to Fluffy, who was like, I don't care, just go deal with him. He leaves, and the next thing you know, you have 3 Eastern European timber wolves coming running through everything, and all hell breaks loose.
Can I see? So now that the door is open,
Yeah.
Can I see anything about these body parts that are specific, or anything like that?
I mean, you can tell they've probably been there for a good 3 to 4 weeks, if not longer. Some of them are probably air mummified. But
Are they-
I'm gonna work my way back over there.
Are they like all human?
you can't tell, they're body parts.
You can't tell.
I'm gonna move back. I'm gonna
These
go
are-
along the wall.
These are
Well, I
arms,
actually would
legs,
be able to
partial
tell. Was there-
torsos.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Okay. Ha! I'm gonna use. Can I use my biology specialty?
You sure?
I want to try and figure out if I can identify, because like there would be signs if some was vampire, if some was human. Like for instance, there wouldn't be, if it's just limbs, there wouldn't be like blood loss at the cut sites if it was a vampire, because there's no pumping blood. So I would be able to, if I actually looked, be able to tell if it's humanoid or not.
Okay, understand. I mean, I'm totally down with it. However, understand, you have 250 people just outside this door
Freaking the fuck out.
freaking
'cause
the
wolves
fuck
running
out
around.
because there's a random donkey, 3 Eastern European timber wolves, 4, possibly more Toreadors that are currently freaking the fuck out for absolutely no reason other than the fact that they believe something is going on that hasn't actually gone on. you don't have a chemistry set
Fair enough.
or any type of biology set, not as far as I'm aware, you don't necessarily either have even a magnifying glass. So
I have a pair of pliers.
you have a pair of pliers.
See, I have your pliers.
Did I give them to you? Okay.
Yeah, you did.
I'm gonna work my way around the room, pull out my phone, just start snapping pictures.
You know what? Actually, in order to give myself more time, I'm going to go into the room and close the door.
Okay.
Hang on.
Does he do that before I get to the door and take pictures of what's inside there?
Figure it out. Roll it.
Say high or low.
Hi.
14. It's over 10.
Okay, it's
so-
over 10. So you make it over
Gonna
there.
pop a
Ty.
few
But does
quick.
he do it before I get over there?
High or low.
High or low?
Hi.
15.
Okay. So you make it there first, then you.
I'm gonna pop some pictures.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. You've got 5 minutes, and I'm gonna just start text it off to the PD, direct to the watch commander
I'm going to
my.
walk in there and slam the door
and the newspapers.
before you even notice I walked in.
Okay.
And I make sure to. I have my phone set to where it doesn't say what phone it's necessarily from,
Okay.
but
So
the
your IP
location
is-
data's on it.
Okay. So your IP is blocked, but the location,
The geo
the
data.
geodata is still there.
Yes.
Okay.
So they know exactly where it's at.
Okay.
And since I only have 5 minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my phone out and I'm going to start picking up limbs and holding them out in front of me like this on my hand and taking pictures of them.
Okay.
Because I don't have time to analyze these right away. So I'm going to try and take as many pictures of these as I can before we have to leave.
Okay.
What's Trinessa doing? Trinisa, rather.
Trinisa is, well, she started off looking vaguely interested. And then she started looking a little less interested and more concerned. Now she's pissed. And she's starting to look around, seemingly to look for who it was that did all of this shit.
And you're still outside the room, right?
I'm outside. I took my picture, sticks it off. I'm walking around. I'm looking around
Like,
like,
you literally feel Chloe shadowing you. She's like against your leg.
Okay.
Yeah. Fluffy is also on your other side, just behind you, shadowing you.
and I'm deliberately throwing this face of, pulling the acting skills out to the nines, going, what the The one time I come to the party,
This is why she's the face.
and this is what we got to get the fuck out of here. This is bullshit.
Trinisa takes one look at you.
What the fuck? Do you know what happened?
Darling.
If this was me, do you really think I'd do this?
Oh, I wouldn't put it past you to do anything. Or rather, not do anything. I have no proof. It's your show. I'm not in charge anymore, remember? I just have my little spot.
I won't lie, I'm amused as hell that Jonathan's chickens are coming to roost, as they say.
I mean, he has not been exactly the most clean
Subtle?
and... Oh, darling, one can never accuse him of being subtle.
You see my point? I need to get out of here before I get caught.
That's
'Cause
fair.
If this is blowing, the way this is blowing up, it's only going to be a matter of minutes before the cops show up.
If
You might want to get out of here, girl.
that's fair.
And I look at Tamina, is it? Yeah, Tamina.
Tamina.
I look at her and I'm like, I suspect it's going to get legal real quick. You may want to book.
Oh, I'm gone, girl.
Good girl. Talk to you Monday.
They both leave out a completely separate exit that you had not actually seen before because it was so blocked off with other shit.
I'm going to mentally take a note of that exit. And then I'm going to walk back to the room, knock 3 times. Gotta go.
As we're in the room. So, do you make yourself known to me at all while you're in there?
Oh, well, as soon as you hear the door
Okay,
slam,
okay.
you would realize that I was there.
I like
Yeah.
look over at you as I'm like holding up these limbs. I'm like, do you recognize any of these? As I'm like taking pictures of them.
Personally, no. Would I be able to recognize what they are?
You might be able to if you happen to have investigation and science.
I have Both?
Can I? Oh, I was about to say, if you don't have science, I can help you out with that.
So one for
Forget your hunger
each?
die.
And don't forget your hunger die.
So 5 from the hunger or?
Well,
How
it's
hungry-
total,
how
whatever your total
hungry?
number of pips,
Your total number of
replace one of
pips,
the
and then
blacks
if you're
with a red.
hungry,
Yeah,
you
you need-
replace 2 of them with 2.
Yeah.
So,
Still want yours then.
Just make sure you take out one of your blacks for and
No.
how many?
Yeah, the total number has to be.
total number is
Yeah,
5.
total number is
Okay.
5, and then 2 are blood. That's 1, 2, 2 successes, 1 on the blood die.
It's iffy. You can tell that they used to belong to certain creatures, but you're not sure in this light with everything going on. It's a lot.
I'll have to look on it later.
Yeah, like I'm specifically taking like flash pictures with them so that it lights it up so that you can like see things better as I'm
Okay.
For
doing it.
fingerprints?
Oh no, remember I'm wearing gloves.
No.
No,
That-
Their
the
fingerprints echo. But I mean, imagine it's not just hands. I imagine there's like legs and shit
Right,
too.
but if you
There's
happen to get fingerprints, you
feet,
can identify
hands,
bodies.
arms.
Are there torsos?
There's a couple of torsos
Okay, I
in
make
there.
sure to get a good picture of the couple torsos
Okay.
because those are more identifying than almost
Say any
anything
tattoos
else.
on these bodies?
That's what I'm taking pictures of. That's why I'm trying to do it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get as many as I can. We only have 5 minutes, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to go through this entire pile. But like all the stuff off the top, I'm picking up and taking pictures of so that I can look at it later.
I'm going to text the driver for the Hummer.
Okay.
Tell him to get it, have it spun up, ready to go.
All right. You get a text back. Yep, boss. Where do you want me to meet?
I don't know where that second exit goes.
Okay, so wait. So as I finish up, so the 5 minutes
so,
are nearing.
by the way, just as a point of information, Darcells is literally about 3 blocks away from Embers.
Okay.
In order to get there, you would need to go, I believe, down Cooch a block and head east about 2 or 3 blocks.
Text you. Any sewer entrances here? Or any tunnel entrances here?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Need an exit.
Okay.
Tell them to meet us at Pioneer, or outside of Pioneer Square.
Okay.
Did
Because Pioneer Square is like 4 blocks over, if I remember correctly.
Pioneer Square is about 10 blocks away.
Okay, never mind.
From Darcells?
Yeah, the Pioneer Square.
It's on the other side of the. It's literally we're in Old Town.
Right.
And Pioneer Square is just on the other side of the Max tracks.
Oh wait, so they'd be right by Chinatown then?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's across the street from
you
Chinatown.
guys
Yeah.
are currently in Chinatown right now. Old Town, Chinatown.
Okay. Border of Chinatown. Text the
At the
Hummer to meet us
Lions.
there.
At the Lions?
Yeah,
Okay.
meet
At
us
the
at the
Lions.
Lions.
So across the street from Dante's.
Yeah.
yeah? Is there sewer access in this room?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I was asking her.
Okay, so
Or in the building.
no,
Yeah,
what I'm asking
Chinatown-
is in the
yes.
in the body room.
Oh, in the body room? No.
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 Okay, so we have to leave this room to get out.
Yeah. Most of Chinatown is connected through what had been affectionately known as the Shanghai tunnels.
Yeah. I've been down there actually.
Parts of which are still accessible from outside. What they don't understand is that it's also accessible from pretty much every place else still if you know which doors to open.
So yeah, so I finish up. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to get through all these. We're about 5 minutes out. I'm like, we need to go. And so like I go to leave the room.
I
Does
reached down
anybody-
and scratched Chloe's ears, just nervously, just because
She is on straight alert. She's like paying attention to fucking everything, just like.
you're doing good, girl. You're doing good.
And then so we come out, and I'm like, yeah, we need to leave.
Close the door behind you. And lock it. We don't want any indication we were in there.
Okay,
Too late now. Let's go.
Yep.
I'm like,
Just
go,
turn
go,
the knob
go.
and-
I'll catch up. As I like relock it.
Well, you should be able to lock it from the inside. Just yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know.
All right, make for the exit.
All right. You're heading that way. There's a lot of people that you have to get through.
Okay.
So.
we have Fluffy.
Yeah, well, you do have Fluffy, but Fluffy does not necessarily want to go ahead and bring an awful lot of attention to you guys
Fair enough.
leaving.
Fair enough.
So,
Put on my intimidation face.
dexterity and athletics, please, from everybody.
I'm going to fire
Except
up Daunt.
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna fire up Daunt.
Daunt? Okay. Except for you, because you can obfuscate yourself into absolutely not being there anymore, and exactly where you were, no one knows.
Just dexterity and what?
Dexterity and athletics, please. In order to do duck and weave, as it were.
Oh, that is a critical success on the blood die.
Okay.
Bestial success?
Yeah, that's 3 successes with both my blood die being successes, 1 being a critical.
Excellent. All right. So you have no
Really
problem.
running out of willpower right now.
Stop using it.
0 successes, but I did fire up Daunt.
Okay.
So people should naturally want to get out of my way.
People are definitely wanting to get out of your way, if only because they do not want to go and see a pissed off Malkavian.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
Like
So-
walking next to you, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
it's to you. You're like feeling like, oh fuck, what did I do?
Right? I'm sorry.
Chloe's still against your leg, but she's like,
I don't like this. Yep. I don't know what I did, but I'm pretty sure I'm a bad puppy. All right, so you do manage to go ahead and make your way through there, heading out the same door that Trinisa and, God, why
Tamina.
thank you, Tamina went out. You find yourself pretty much in the Shanghai tunnels right through there, and manage to make your way through there, probably about 5 minutes worth of zigzagging back and forth underneath Old Town, and pop up just outside of Dante's in the parking lot in between Dante's and the Chevron station that's there, which is across the street from the Two Lions.
Caught a couple of buses over there before.
Right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Make
It's
our
a
way,
parking lot.
Gonna make our way towards the limo.
Okay. You head on over, and door pops open automatically, which is nice.
Once everybody's in,
Yep. Pile in.
close the door. Like, now that's a party.
Remind me never to come to these things with you again.
They had it coming.
Oh, no doubt. But remind me not to do these anymore.
My character starts humming the song from Chicago.
They had it coming. They had it
I strongly suspect that Jonathan's life is going to get real uncomfortable.
And I think he's probably
What
going
life?
to blame you.
How can he blame me?
I don't think I honestly, out of the little interaction we had, he's not an idiot. He knew way too much about me, and that's all stuff that I thought I had hidden. So he obviously knows about stuff that's happened down in LA. He knows about stuff that, so he knows a lot. And I think that he's going to eventually figure out that it was you that did it.
And,
Very likely.
It will be dealt with when the time comes. One nice thing about there not being a prince,
Fair. And nice that we are technically the ones in control.
Okay. Where are you guys headed toward at this point?
Back to the.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by the dog.
No, that's okay.
Back to the townhouse.
Are you heading back to the townhouse? Are you heading back to your
What do
individual?
you guys want to do?
Is the townhouse too conspicuous?
The penthouse, well, getting in there is secret. So
Right back there.
I think we should like get out a couple blocks before, because we are in a bright pink Hummer limousine.
I look at how I'm dressed and I'm like, okay.
I'm like, as far as I can tell, it's a regular night in Portland. Nobody's gonna look at you twice.
Darn. Then I'm not doing my job right.
Right.
Just think of the stories you can tell on air.
Oh, I plan on it. I look at the pictures, I'm like, trust me, I plan on it.
I hand you my phone, and I'm like, look at the pictures that I took. See if you recognize anything.
But looking at them for distinguishing marks, tattoos, anything I might recognize?
There's some very basic flash.
Okay.
Tattoo flash. Looks like probably somebody went out to. There's a couple of flash that you do recognize. There's 2 tattoo artists that are fairly popular here in Portland, one of whom runs and operates out of C-Tramp Tattoos, and the other one out of a, what is it? There's a school of tattoo out on 82nd, and you know both of those artists very well. You also recognize that flash as specifically theirs.
I don't know who the people are, but I know who the artist is, and I may be able to track that down to the people.
Yeah, especially with the one that's the teaching the tattoo school. They list down every single time they have done their own tattoo. So any flash, they go ahead and sign out the person's name and who it is that's that's gone ahead and gotten the flash done.
Okay.
So you know that, and that's part of their licensing agreement with the state.
Okay.
And then when we get back to the actual penthouse, then we can go through and isolate those images so we're not showing people pictures of dismembered body parts.
Yeah. No,
on
it's
now.
time to break out the Photoshop.
Yeah. But yeah, if we can get information on who these people are, we might have some sort of idea as to why these pieces were there.
Would it be safe to assume that we stocked the fridge, as it were?
Yes.
For at least.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I mean, I carry my meal to go.
Yeah.
I carry bag
I'm
lunch.
the only one who has the special needs in this group.
Yeah. But I mean, it's pretty easy. Fluffy's still with you, by the way.
Oh, good.
So, I mean, at this point, he's like, I don't think I can go back to my apartment for a few days.
I'm sorry about that, dear.
No, it is what it is. I signed up for this. It's fine.
I say if you need a place to go, I have a place out in the West Hills you can go hide out in for a couple of days.
That would be helpful. That'd be good.
All right. Well, I shoot them off the address. It's like it's in those like nice like housing communities that are up in the West Hills when you actually like go over like Germantown and whatnot. There's like all those.
Oh,
like,
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a nice penthouse up there.
Okay.
So I say there's a key hidden in a hide of rock out in the front. Just go ahead and let yourself in. You're more than welcome to stay there. If anybody gives you guff, just give me a call.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, he goes ahead and leaves. There's, again, there's plenty in the refrigerator. You don't need a problem with it. If you're going to go ahead and sit down, you can take off one of your hunger dice.
Down to
You can also, if you need to, you can take it down to 1.
Yeah. I can't go any lower than 1, right?
No, you cannot.
I didn't think so.
I'm stuck at 2 for the moment.
You are stuck at 2 unless you would like to go and send Fluffy out on an errand for you before he takes off.
Yes, I will then. I will ask him to do that.
Okay. He's like, okay. What
Thank
you need?
dear. You know my tastes.
That's fair. I do. So he heads
But
out.
nothing with rope.
That's fair.
Not tonight.
No sisal for you?
No, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Sitting there sucking on the end of the bag, pulling out thumb drive and several attachments. Give me your phone.
I hand her my phone.
Crap.
Hack.
Downloading all the pictures. Back your phone. Give me yours.
Hand it over. Actually, enter a code, then hand it over.
There you go.
Glad to see you've learned something about security over the years.
You've all, the tonight's
care what
pictures are the
people
only
know
ones
about me.
open.
I do care, but I don't care if people get a hold of my phone.
You might unless you delete those.
No, those are getting transferred over to a hard drive as soon as I get back.
Okay.
Fair.
There you go.
Thank
All
you.
right. Fluffy comes back about 15, 20 minutes later. I got you this. There's 2 of them. Twins.
Oh.
Twins, Basil.
Nice.
Twins.
Wonder Twin powers activate?
Oh, indeed. Indeed. You outdid yourself, my dear. Thank you.
You are very welcome.
Be back in about 15, guys. Maybe 20, maybe 30. We'll see. There's 2 of them, so probably 30.
And he heads out. He waits until you're done so that he can go ahead and take them back.
Right. Then I be sure to tip extra well.
Excellent. It's like, I'm going to get pizza.
Can I
from
go
Fly
back down?
Pie.
Go back down to 1.
Yes, go back
Okay.
down to 1.
And get changed into something a little more conservative while I'm at it.
That is fair. All right. So you guys have collected all of your photos, or rather, you have collected all of the photos. What are we doing with those?
Oh, we're going to go back and pop that thumb drive into the computer.
Okay.
And we're going to start analyzing all of the pictures
Okay.
for things like the tattoos and checking to see if anything shows up on a
Insta.
criminal record or any other record sources matching those.
Check
Okay.
Insta as well. Because people
Yeah.
like to post their tats on
People
Insta.
do love posting pics, especially unassuming people who don't normally understand exactly how stupid it is.
I'm going to fire up the
post
police
pics.
scanner app on my phone just to see, because I want to see if the cops, if the cops indeed showed up.
Okay.
This is not the first time he's been busted, but this is the first time that something actually happened.
You have found 4 out of 5 of the tattoos listed. You have 5 different people. Each one of them got that same, those same flash tattoos. Not all in the same spots, but they all did get them. You're not sure what the connection is with them, other than the fact that all of them came from one of the 2 tattoo artists. But at least narrows it down because, I mean, there's over 1 million people in Portland.
Right.
So, you know, that's helpful at least-ish.
Any of them happen to have faces in their picture?
No, it looks like it actually, most of these pictures were Instagrams off of the tattoo artists themselves. So you definitely know who it was that did the tattoo, just not who it was that got the tattoo. But you know that they did the work.
Okay.
As for the scanners, let's see. You hear a bit of fuss about a party in Chinatown. There were some arrests, nothing about bodies.
Interesting.
Anything about animals?
No,
I'm not getting that deposit back.
probably not. No animals, no bodies mentioned. Sounded like it was a typical wild night in Chinatown.
Bet your Trinice had something to do with that.
Or Jonathan did.
Oh no. His mind is so far gone right now.
He's still probably ranting and rambling and.
Or it could have been somebody above him that took care of it.
Given that Tranisa was there, and
And I mean, Tamina was there.
Yeah, yeah, but
That's not Tamina's MO.
it's not her MO, and I don't think she's in particular cahoots with. Well, it's possible.
But I mean, those weren't the only big names that were there. We just didn't really meet many other people that were there. It was like 250 people there. It could have been any number of people that didn't want any information about the party getting out.
Yeah.
You did happen to see a number of people who were, while you did not know them, you knew of them. You have seen them around and mention of some fairly bigwig local political, human local political.
Any like business owners?
Yeah, namely business owners, a number of them shareholders in larger companies. There were a few who were owners in the local properties,
Yeah, I was about
especially
to say,
downtown properties.
Anybody in real estate?
Anybody. There's a number of them in real estate. So they were definitely higher rollers that were there that are connected.
Any city councilman?
Let me take a look. Why, yes. Yes, there were. There was at least one, if not 2.
Well, if nothing else, Jonathan's ego may get knocked down a few pegs.
Indeed.
Again, watch
6
your back.
feet.
You know, watch your back because,
I will.
I mean, it wouldn't be very hard for him to make the connection that the first time you come to a party, shit goes south.
It's entirely possible.
And
But
he knows you're Valk. So,
does he?
I mean,
does he know that I
he
have that
knew who
ability?
I was.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So,
But we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Or blow up that bridge when we get to it, rather.
Oh no, you seem sweet.
Oh, please.
Text Jonathan.
Oh,
he didn't know
he
I
doesn't
was
know you
there.
were there.
Heard about the party. You're owing me on that deposit that I just lost.
P.S. What's with the bodies?
Oh!
I'll save that for later.
Okay.
Right. Pings back. Pings back. You get a ding. Can't talk right now. There's a lot going on. Oh my God, my darling. I just can't. I will deal with it later. I love you. Hugs and kisses.
Well, at least he's composed enough to do that.
Fucking Navalas.
Your phone dings.
Mine does?
Yours does.
Okay, who is it?
It's John.
Oh, okay.
Can't talk right now, bro. I think somebody might be following me. I don't know what the fuck this shit is.
I don't like not being there.
You text him back?
Yeah, I text him back. I say, do you need me down there?
No response.
I'm just like,
And I think with that, that is the end of episode 2. I think this is a good jumping off point.
fuck.
Thank you for continuing on with this very interesting storyline. This is going to be
Thank you for one hell of a party.
for one hell of a party. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 2. We look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of Knights of Faded Roses
Next month.
next month. Bye.